Hey Tina,
What's up?
you want to see something cool?
Yeah, show it.
Here it is. Uh, this is for all of you that weren't here at the beginning of last night's stream because it was like at 1 a.m. But here it is. Here it is for all of you.
Dude, check the news. It doesn't matter what channel.
Like I said before, I'm the one that can see John Cena. I'm the one that knows Victoria's Secret. I'm the one that knows what the dog is doing. I'm that guy. I'm him. I'm him. When I go into a gym, treadmills do push-ups. That's how it is, bro. I'm that guy.
It's one of my favorite videos to just like throw out at a moment's notice on stream.
I was trying so hard not to spit out my gamer water.
You're fine. You're fine. I want you to spit out the gamer water at KSI saying that he's the one that could see John Cena.
He's that guy.
But Tina was really like,
Sit your ass down.
Hello, Mario.
Give us all.
Yes, Tina was all like, "Hello, Mario."
no, it's this.
Sit your ass down. Go to sleep.
Give us all a break.
Sleep.
Give
Because
us
it
all a
was
break.
1 in the morning.
Are you kidding me? Are you saying that's too late for you? Wow.
Your 1 a.m. is my 10 p.m.
Ah,
okay.
yes. Sorry about that. But right now it's my 10. Well, actually, no. It's like 10:30. I'm late for stream chat. So you know what? Let's just get into it. Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
boy.
Hi, my name's Giraffe7. I'm the president of the Long Boy Club, the very large enjoyer of all things gaming, wrestling, other hyperfixations, and my stinky cat. Tonight, we are continuing or concluding the WWE 2K24 creation of the Equestria Girls cast. We have 5 of them. We got 5 of the 8 that we are making tonight. And joining me to help me power through this last bit of creation is my pal and your pal, Tina.
Hello, Mario.
Our pal at this point.
Our pal.
It's not your pal or my pal, it's our pal.
Everyone's equal here. I have something for you, Steph. Better get ready to clip it. If it's something wrong with the homunculus, you're gonna get 50 seconds in the timeout bin.
Oh boy, I have the alcohol on standby.
But go on. A cutie patootie giraffe detected.
Serotonin, please.
Uh-oh. Thank you.
Yes, head pats. Yummy, delicious, nutritious
Hey.
even.
Serotonin. Yes, I love it.
We all love serotonin, chat, don't we? We all love a good serotonin boost every now and then.
I have a feeling that chat regular Dan is about to do something weird with the homunculus.
I am terrified now that you've mentioned it.
Does Longboy like chaos? Generally. But
I mean,
tonight I would like to have a bit of controlled chaos because your boy's coming at you feeling a little something like this. You know?
yeah. Before we started stream, he told me he had 2 giant cookies.
Yeah. Yeah. So chat. There is you know what? I'm gonna put music on while we do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rather, like I'm gonna put some music on while we kind of ease into this. And you know what? Why not? Cookie clicker music on the topic.
Clicker music, yes.
Oh, hold on a second, chat. Well, the homunculus is a little shy today. I swear I did do that on purpose.
He's a little, you know, what we call shy, chat. He doesn't like talking to outsiders as much as we do.
He saw Tina and then got scared.
Because he knows how badly I'll kick his ass if he calls me a wrong name.
I'm going to just say, let's not include a whole ass Bible verse, please. Please.
Giraffes are heckin' cute, so adorable.
I agree.
They are very cute, but this one is feeling a little sick tonight, Chad. He's feeling a little feeling a little sickly.
Keep in mind, this motherfucking giraffe over here had 2 giant cookies before we started.
I did. Chat. Wait.
Apparently, chat is demanding me to be yeeted.
But why'll need Jesus tonight?
But why I'll need Jesus?
But y'all need Jesus.
Why I'll need Jesus?
Nick Wild needs Jesus tonight.
I don't need Jesus. I need some fucking Tums, dude. I need
Then
some fucking Tums.
Then buy some, lol.
Hello, Mario.
Where? Where at 10:30 will I buy Tums?
DoorDash.
DoorDash?
Have you not
You may as well be telling me to gouge my eyes out. Because that's not going to happen.
Your loss.
DoorDash. Get a load of this. Get a load of this gal, chat. Get a load of this gal. And you can find more of this gal by following her on Twitch. Which
Get a load of this, Marshmallow.
Get a load of this.
Get a load of this, idiot.
Only verse that's good here is Austin 3:16. He says he just whipped your ass. DoorDash.
Who
Who let her
Come
cook?
Listen, man, when times are tough and you don't have many leftovers, you might as well use that last resort.
I'm gonna find a picture of the cookies I had, and while I do that, Tina,
What?
why don't you endear yourself to my chat room here?
Oh, yes.
What are you about?
Oh, yes. I am your local Marshmallow on the internet. I talk about a lot of weird shit.
You know they say that all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe and you can see that statement
Swear
is
I
not
didn't
true.
do that.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. So you got a 25%, at best, at beat me. Then you add Kurt Angle to the mix,
Just let the
your
homunculus do
chances
his
of
thing
winning
real quick.
drastic go down. See the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning, but I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me and he's not even gonna try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance, minus my 25% chance and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice.
I'm putting a TTS
But then you
kill
take my
switch.
75% chance of winning,
Please.
if we was to go one-on-one, and then at 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See
Senor
Joe, the numbers don't lie,
don't
and they
lie.
spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
The numbers don't lie. Thank you for that TED Talk, Humunculus. Round of
Homun-
applause.
Okay,
Round of
homunculus,
applause.
can you like go down now, please?
Can you go down to your cave or something?
Fuck it. I'm taking him down to his cave. Give me a second.
Thank you.
There.
Thank you.
Tina, endear yourself.
Okay, so if you don't know me, I am a Marshmallow on the internet. I talk about a lot of weird shit when I want and in whatever way you want me to talk about it. There are stuff I do want to talk about here, but Stev won't let me. So I'm gonna keep that
Okay.
shit to myself. But I do a lot of gaming, editing, singing, really anything you can think of. I do it over on Twitch. You can also find me on YouTube at Your Paltina. I do stuff over there as well. But yeah, all I am on Twitch is a silly Marshmallow trying to, make ends meet
She
and
really
pay my
is.
mortgage.
Your mortgage.
Yes.
Wow.
Hello, Mario.
Yes, I do have a mortgage put down on my new house.
Look at freaking Tina over here, homeowner and all. That's crazy.
About to be homeowner.
That's incredible. Nice.
Hello,
I am
Mario.
very excited.
Jesus Christ. Who all has come in here since I put this
Ow.
kill switch on? Hey, thank you. Thank you for the roses.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Defender.
I don't know why StreamerBot just completely whiffed the fucking thing.
With
here.
me. Like, yeah, Steph deserves some of the love, but I think I'm the star of the show, right?
Chat. 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 How much longer do I need to keep Tina on here?
No, wait. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop!
Let's see here.
Doomslayer's like, Tina, let me talk to ya! Oh, mother of God, no!
You'll stay down there while I try and find this, while I post this image of the cookie. Give me a second. Parker football player, thanks for following. You're a member of the Long Boy Club for life. Leave the pony alone. Listen. You started this, Mr. Dan. This is your fault. What's about to happen is your own doing. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, chat. Give me just a second. So, chat, I said that I had big cookie today. I'm gonna bring Tina up for this again so she can see it. Give me a second. Hey, Tina. You back?
God damn it. That was not fun. Dude,
How did...
I saw Satan. Please do not put me down there again.
Is Satan the big Cheeto horde that the homunculus has down there?
Mm-hmm.
Man. I don't wish that upon anybody. That's terrible.
Do not send me down there again. I absolve myself of my sins. Holy shit, that's how big the cookies are?
Yeah, so like these are the cookies, right? These are not the ones I had today, by the way. This is a photo I found.
Oh.
But like these cookies, they're like half baked, right? They have like a crispy outside and a soft filling on the inside, and they'll have things, you know, like the raw cookie dough in there, but they'll also have things like fudge and peanut butter and like and like cream and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I had 2 of these, chat. I had 2 of these.
That was the thing that concerned me the most, was the fact that you can double fist them with both of your palms and you would still not attack them right.
No, you wouldn't. Like, genuinely, chat.
That's how big they are.
Chat, you can like eat these like a slice of pizza, basically. They're so big. They're so big. And I ate 2 of them on the ride home. You break them apart. No, you eat them in one go because they're fresh. Listen, they're freshly baked, you know? Like, if you take them home and wait, they're not gonna be, you know, as good as when you bought them. So you need to, like, have them, like, when you first get them, otherwise they're gonna be no good. And I did that. I bought 2 of them and I ate them on the way back. Big mistake. I really should have just gotten 1. I should have just gotten 1 and then let that be the end of it. But, of course, me being the gluttonous
Lucky,
long boy that I am.
give me a cookie.
Meanwhile,
why isn't the homunculus showing?
Is he down in his void again?
Oh, wait. Hold on, I know why. Okay, there you go. Looky, give me a cookie.
There you go.
You don't need any more of those. Listen, homunculus, you're already barreling through your fucking Cheeto horde. You don't want any of this, you know?
Let the Cheetos consume you before you decide to let the sugar do it.
I did it all for the cookie. I got my red fucking baseball cap and everything in my landing strip and shit. I'm ready for the Fred Durst cosplay, chat.
That's awesome.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
No. Literally 10 minutes before stream, you told me C is for Cheeto, and that's good enough for you. What the hell is your damage, homunculus? Giraffe zoomies? More like giraffe crashies. because I came into the stream like just super
Hello,
low
Mario.
energy. Like I was like I ghosted Tina for like for like 10 minutes because like I just completely
I have many tastes.
What?
That's all he had to say.
Homunculus! What are you doing?
Round of applause.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna try this again, chat. I'm gonna try this again in a second. I'm gonna make sure that he says the whole thing.
I have many tastes. Specifically two. Cheetos and Big Cookie.
Fair enough.
No. Homunculus. No. Stick to your Cheeto diet.
I think he's talking about those weird like cheese cookies that I made the other day because they were at his request.
Cheese cookies.
Yeah, they had like crunchy bits on the top. Cheese.
Did you happen to follow B. Dylan Hollis's recipe?
Yeah.
God damn it, you magnificent bastard.
Like corgi can. I
Bro.
want a thing like cork. What? Like cork.
Oh, they were talking about homunculus.
Steph, Chio cookies seem to exist. We're in No, they don't. I was fucking making a joke. Chat.
Cheeto cookies.
No, there's
I
no
refuse.
shot. No shot.
I refuse.
I'm gonna look it up, chat.
Look it up, I dare you.
Soul says they're real. Ow. Hold on, I'm gonna look them up before we get like deep into this shit.
Before we get knee deep.
Cheetos cookie.
Hold on. Where
Huh?
is that? What the fuck?
What? And I mean this with whole sincerity. The fuck is this? What is this, chat?
Chat, what the actual fuck have you done to my appetite?
Who is buying these? Where are they being bought? And where can I buy a dozen?
Who is manufacturing them?
Select your box. The wood box.
I guess go bakery box. Go big or go home.
I want to.
You could get a custom choice of flavors.
One dozen.
A dozen of these.
There better be Cheetos cookie in here. There are.
There is.
Chat.
Yup, this is the stream, boys.
How to ruin cookies and Cheetos in one meal. Chat, do I buy one of these after stream and try them on stream?
Do it.
I will literally buy the Cheetos cookie and try it on stream.
So will I. Because I too am genuinely curious. I'll also send you on a TikTok, Steph, the video I was talking about. The B. Dylan Hollis recipe.
Okay. If you ever want...
Yummy yummy for my tummy.
No!
If you ever wonder, can mankind sink any lower? The question is...
How low is mankind
It's
willing
almost time
to
for a
stoop
120
these kinds of cookies?
seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
The answer to the question, chat, is give me those bag of bone Cheetos right the fuck now.
What?
Give me that bag of bones and stop asking questions.
I'm
Alright,
over here eating fucking spicy nuggets and I have alcohol on my right.
What the fuck are we doing again, chat? Oh yeah, that's right, we're making characters
Oh yeah,
tonight.
that's right.
But first I need to run an ad.
It's break time. Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Raw rolls on after this. Subscribers get to see Gaming in the Clinton years.
Bill Clinton.
Silent Hill can also be tossed on the fire. But this one isn't nearly.
This is my least favorite
What kind
one.
of PS2 graphics is this?
This is PS1 graphics.
Bro, I thought
Because this is-
PS1 Hagrid was bad. Nah, this is worse.
This is Silent Hill.
The voice acting and unclear goals are the main detractors, but in several spots the game shows potential. When you search for your lost daughter in the
I
alleys,
am
the wobbly
genuinely
camera and dark
concerned
shadows
for the
create an
future of
amazing
gaming after
sense of
seeing
fear
this.
and anticipation for
What do you
the unknown.
mean? This was like made in like
Unfortunately,
'98 or
this sequence does
something.
not stay with the game on a consistent
So?
basis.
So what do you mean? You're
So the game is aptly named.
you're like
The use
scared for the
silence
state of
is
the
a great
gaming in
idea,
like
but needs
'99
better
or '98 or
execution.
whenever this came out.
I was born in 2003. Leave me alone.
I was born in '99. Oh man.
I have a problem, okay? So many of my friends have given me brain rot because the 90s were like, quote unquote, the worst times for gaming.
According to who?
According to said friends.
Are they playing the same games?
Probably.
2003, shouldn't you be in bed? You gotta get the binky out.
You shut your mouth. Listen, I hate being born after the year 2000. We get made fun of. We get called ghosts because we ain't real.
I mean, you're like at the cusp of like. I mean, you're like right smack dab in the middle of Gen Z.
Hey,
So,
at least it's better than being born during Gen Alpha.
Gen
let's
Alpha is
be honest.
absolutely
nom.
nuts,
Oh,
dude.
excuse me,
Let's
we're
be
back,
honest,
my
those
dudes.
fuckers are, like, fucked.
Those guys are so weird because
I
like
know.
literally, my work friend, right?
Yeah.
He like drives a Camaro, and
Mhm.
he was like driving around in like he was like driving around in my neck of the woods,
Mhm.
and there was like this group of kids, and they were like rather they were like rev your engine and like rev the engine, and the kids were like impressed, and they were like that is so Guyot, Ohio Riz or something like that. They were like that is so Guyot, Ohio Riz, and I'm just like, how many
What
how
the
many more
fuck?
how many more ways are we gonna find to say good? You know,
How many more brain cells am I gonna lose to actually be in debt? That
How
should be my
many-
question, chat.
how many fun, unique ways can we find to just simply say that's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ohio Guyot Riz. First off, Ohio is anything but cool. Believe me, I've lived there.
I have friends that used to live there. They were not so cool.
Mm-hmm. There's
and I'm only
literally
saying
nothing.
some. I'm not pointing to the entire Ohio population. Just saying a few select people. You know who you are.
There is literally nothing of value in Ohio. It is the Alabama of the Midwest, speaking as someone who's lived in the Midwest his whole life.
The only thing I say whenever I want to say, "Oh, that's cool," I say that's fire.
I have news for you. That has happened before and will happen again. Like, listen. I get it. I'm sounding like big old boomer brain over here. I realize that.
So am I.
But like,
and I'm the one wearing the boomer glasses.
but like, I'm just like really fascinated with how like language evolves between generation. What
Drew Carey was the only good thing to come out of Ohio, and he was mid-tier at best.
John Moxley exists. I mean, that's a pretty big upside.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, chat. One more thing, and then we'll get to this. I promise. You cannot tell me that nothing good came out of Ohio when one of the greatest wrestlers of the modern era exists.
Skibbity Toilet is the new annoying orange. Finally, someone gets it. Finally, someone understands how infuriated I am with this generation. Thank you.
I'm going to say this, and this is like probably like a flaming hot take, but I said it before, I'll say it again. That Skibbity Toilet is inspiring to me.
I'm
Because-
sorry. I'm the opposite of logos. I despise it.
Listen, listen. Skibidi Toilet tells me that anything can become popular. You know? Like, that is what Skibidi Toilet tells me. I have learned that anything can become popular. Literally anything.
Alright, time to start chugging my alcohol. No, I'm kidding.
What have we learned? I've learned that anything can become popular. Literally anything. I'm convinced that with enough willpower, literally anything can become popular.
Alright, let me try this blue raspberry beatbox real quick.
Alright.
Holy fuck, this shit ain't half bad.
What the fuck, boom, or I'm a firing my laser. It is! Like, literally, we've had stuff like this basically ever since the beginning of the internet. And there are
And
people
it's
that
stupid.
don't- Yeah, it is stupid. That's why people grasp onto it. That's why people grasp onto it.
Firmly grasp it in
Yeah.
your hand.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
literally, you forehead.
Forehead. Forehead. I love it.
Hey, at least it's better than calling someone Four Eyes.
Listen, I called you Pigtail before this stream. So,
You did. That's what makes it worse.
see, chat? This right here's what I knew was going to happen. I knew that the cookies were going to wear off. And now we're in full gear. We're in
full energy mode.
Now we're in business.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make some fucking wrestlers.
Let's do it.
First
So
off, Tina.
let's remind everyone who we have made so far.
Yeah, let's do that. Don't mind these guys.
Yeah.
We have Applejack, Rainbow Dash,
Why you gotta diss Rainbow Dash like this, bro? Come
Sunset, Twilight, and Twilight. We have both Twilights here.
on. Fucking Rainbow Dash looks like she's off the set of that fucking Super Bowl commercial.
Which one? Which one?
I have no idea. All I know is that she reminds me of one particular Super Bowl commercial.
Like, what was it advertising?
I think it was advertising something like Mountain Dew or something.
Mountain Dew, the Jesus. Wait. The Jesus Feet AI one?
I think so. It was either that or I may be remembering Puppy Monkey Baby.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the ad that's like, what's better than one thing? 3 things. And then they make a weird, like, little homunculus, man. You know?
Yeah.
They make, like, the uncool version of this fucking guy here.
I know.
Ara.
They make him, but uncool.
I know. That's why I hate it.
Puppy Monkey Baby ruined my life for years. It's that profound.
Puppy
huh?
Monkey Baby still gives me trauma as an adult. Come on.
Gives you trauma.
PTSD. Like, I remember going into the trenches. I saw it in the distance. That dreaded puppy monkey baby, armed with an MG42, sprinting towards me.
I had a manager refer to another manager only by that name for years, but only when he wanted something. They called it Puppy Monkey Baby.
That can't be real.
Puppy Monkey Baby, to my office now. You are due for a promotion.
Or termination.
At that point, I would want to be executed live in front of the
Same.
coworkers.
Beheaded.
They're taken out to a nice dinner, but then the dinner's poison.
For real.
That's insane.
Oh my god.
God damn.
Absolutely wild.
Feather, I really hope you're here. Please,
Planet of
please
the,
clip
shut
that.
up. Planet of the Puppy Monkey Babies. I need you to understand. There's a new Planet of the Apes movie in the works right
The
now.
homunculi do not claim Puppy Monkey Baby as one of our own.
Bullshit, homunculus.
Is that like your natural enemy or something?
Yes. Because those movies have been some of the worst in cinematic history. I don't
what
I don't
hasn't
care.
been the worst in cinematic history?
What?
Fluttershy.
Oh, yay!
Speaking
Something
of,
productive for once.
that's our next character that we're making, chat.
Yay!
41 minutes into the stream. That's 20 minutes sooner than we got to last night.
Oh man.
We spent so much time fucking around last night during stream. We got nothing done. So Tina,
Yeah.
this is essentially going to be the stream. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Oh
we
god.
are making these characters and we're going to try our best to make them as like accurate as we can. Emphasis on try.
My eyes and ears are thanking you,
Pucky monkey baby.
Pucky Monkey, because sometimes I feel like I talk with a speech impediment or a lisp. But yeah, Puppy Monkey Baby will forever be solidified as one of my worst sleep paralysis demons. I hate it that much.
You remember being there for Super Bowl, whatever it was.
Yep. I remember seeing that commercial live.
She has like a light
It was
pink eyeliner, it looks like.
it was funny at the time. Now all I think of when I see it is that goddamn monstrosity.
That fucking monkey.
Brass monkey.
That fucking monkey.
God damn it.
I feel like that's a little too abrasive of eye makeup. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Eye makeup.
Here you go.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Now, how do we emulate that long ass Rapunzel hair?
Good question. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go along, chat.
Why does Fluttershy need to have such weird ass eyebrow, or rather like eyelashes? Shit.
You're questioning the integrity of one's eyelashes?
Yes, I am. Because why does she have to make it why did DHX, now known as Wild Brain, need to make this like harder for me 15
I
years
don't
after
know.
they make these characters?
Why do you think I was created? Do you not see my eyelashes?
I didn't realize we were gonna get into a conversation like this, chat. I'll agree that both are still better than the Tim Burton remake. I have no frame of reference for any of the Planet of the Apes movies, so...
I only know of them because of the trailers, and I can tell you just off of those that they're some of the worst movies ever made.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it.
Please do. Please take it to heart.
Okay, I will. I will. I trust you.
Be very inspired by my comments.
Alright, so she has like she has like big hair. It's like poofy on the back almost. Which
Some
makes
are
it...
very good. Yeah, like 2 of them.
I must disagree with Tina. The reboot series are especially good movies.
I was especially tired of the new one that they unveiled. I found out about it last night.
I found out that they're making another one, or rather that they made another one. I'm just like, they're still doing this? I remember when this started when I was like 12. Rather, like, it feels like I was 12 when it started.
And I was 8 when it all started.
Like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I remember when that was new. That was like when I was like, you know, a preteen. And now I'm like 24. So I'm just like, they're still doing this shit? I'm gonna need you to fake Fluttershy best pony as perfect as perfect as possible.
Really?
Well, you know, you can have
Them's fighting words.
You can have full lack of confidence in me, Mech, because that's absolutely not gonna happen. I will
and you
try my
say
absolute
Fluttershy
best.
is your best pony. I
Listen.
will fight you in court.
Listen, I love Fluttershy. She is my best pony. Okay?
Rainbow Dash is mine, although I will respect the love Fluttershy gets.
Fluttershy or Twilight, they kind of war for the top spot, really.
Meanwhile, Rainbow Dash is like dead last, which I hate.
Actually, Rainbow Dash is my third favorite. I will say.
Thank God. Someone
Rainbow Dash is
understands
my
me.
third favorite.
Thank God someone understands me.
Because I think that her episodes are actually the most interesting.
The
Because
Sonic Rainboom one, I think from season 2 is my favorite.
she is the one that has the most apparent flaws, right? At least I feel like she does. And
Yeah.
that makes the stories that she has a spotlight in, you know, really, really good opportunities
Yeah.
for those flaws to kind of be turned on their head a little bit, or for her, like, you know, better aspects to shine.
Yeah.
Like Hurricane Fluttershy. Like, I enjoy that. That's one of my favorite episodes of the entire show.
That
And
episode
that
is
is
really
largely
good.
thanks to Rainbow Dash. Like, that isn't just because of Fluttershy. Rainbow
Actually,
Dash, Rainbow Dash's role in that episode is partly why, in fact, it's probably like at least 55% of why I think the episode works. So
I think my favorite Fluttershy episode has to be the very first episode of the show I saw before I became a brony. And that was putting your hoof down.
really, you liked that one?
Yeah. It was like, listen, it was 2014. I was 11. Like fucking nothing to watch. First thing I did, like just scrolling through channels, saw My Little Pony on, and I thought, maybe this will be a good show to watch. 10 years later, I have this fucking nuisance of a Marshmallow character to like gloat
Nuisance.
over.
Well, if you
Listen,
well, you know what? I got something to say to you, Tina.
because listen, I get called a marshmallow a lot, but I have to reiterate to my chat that I am not meant for human consumption. That's
Chad, is
called
she-
cannibalism.
Okay, Chad, is she not meant for human consumption?
Please say I'm not meant for it, please. I beg and I plead. How
Big-
hungry are you? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Feather, you are a fucking
Why?
legend. I love it. Thank you.
Why? Why are you like this?
Check the general chat in Discord. Okay. Hold on.
Depends.
Here
How
you are,
hungry
Steph.
are you?
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate the resources.
So yeah, just replace the image on the left. Oh my god.
I don't think we'll need it for this though, because for something like Rainbow Dash and Sunset Shimmer, those were useful because they had really crazy hair.
Yeah.
Twilight's rather like Fluttershy's is a lot more laid back compared to them. I just need something that's like wavy. And I feel like
This chat is full of
this
sweeties.
does.
Jesus Christ.
This chat is full of sweeties. Yes. Listen,
I'm not one of them.
listen. Last night on this chat, on this stream, I told them to take your self-deprecation, throw it out into the street. Throw it out. Because that shit sucks.
Along
Throw it
with
out
your
into the
cat's
streets.
litter box.
Throw it out with Henry's litter box. Because that shit sucks. It stinks. That shit stinks. It stinks.
So we encourage you to throw your cat's litter box out into the street.
But don't throw out your cat because he needs a warm place to sleep, okay? and he needs ankles to bite, crucially.
Ankles to numb.
Instead, I encourage building ourselves up to ridiculous degrees, so that way when we fail, it's funny, and when we succeed, it's more triumphant. So,
It's more triumphant than funny when we succeed.
yeah, exactly.
But even when we do succeed, it'll be mad funny.
No, I do because yeah, I mean, like, I agree because, like, of when we succeed, you'll be like, man, he talked all that shit and he still came out on top. So, he talked mad shit and he still came out on top.
Fuck around and find out. That's what they always say.
Exactly. They fucked around, they found out, and it paid off. You know?
And karma hit them in the head hard.
I hope I don't sound like that guy when I ask, but do you think that Mercedes Moné has become a bad investment for AEW, or does she just need a little more time to cook? I don't know who's saying that she's a bad investment. Because I think that is just ridiculous. Because, like, she hasn't even had a match yet. Maybe wait until she has a match.
So yeah, just let her cook.
Exactly. Let her cook. Everyone keeps trying to fucking... Okay. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it here. Because
Let's not.
I don't want to get into a big old thing about wrestling because Tina's not gonna get it.
You're
But
right. I don't know the wrestling. I don't know the wrestling lore just
Exactly.
yet. So unfortunately, it's out of my league at the moment.
Everyone wants things to fail in wrestling. They don't want to let them just cook. Just let things happen, you fucking pessimists. Please. Ah! I will literally kill you.
Let her cook Cheetos cookies.
Yeah. Yeah, let her cook the Cheetos cookies. One recommendation for Tina, look up the Shockmaster. Legitimately, look up the Shockmaster. It's the funniest shit.
Alright, bet. I'm gonna do that right now.
Do it. Do it. And then report back.
Shockmaster.
Everyone has to win the world title in their first match or it's Jover. You would think that's what needs to happen with some of these fucking people.
Honestly, it's no different in any other sport.
Nope.
Because
If they don't win the world title in their 0th match, it's over.
everyone has different expectations for their teams, especially when they have a stacked roster of talent. It's stupid how high our expectations can be nowadays.
No, I know.
Especially with my sports.
And I will say that in the promotion that we're talking about, which is AEW, the roster is very stacked. It's like ridiculously stacked. It has some of the best wrestlers on the planet, and they're all like under one roof. The problem with that, of course, is that when you have so much talent, then some of it is going to fall to the side because, you know, like there isn't enough room at the table for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
So like inevitably there will be people who will fall through the sort of cracks, but that's just kind of how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyways, look up the Shockmaster. It's funny. Stop
What
talking.
exactly do I need to look up in terms of the Shockmaster?
Just look up WCW Shockmaster, and you'll probably see like a stormtrooper helmet with a bunch of glitter on it, and that's what you want to watch.
I see it.
It'll be like Sting, and he'll be like, all I could say is our
Hello,
partner's
Mario.
going to shock the world. Because it's none other than the Shockmaster!
My god.
Alright. Now we need like a skirt for Fluttershy here.
Yeah. If such. Oh, I thought I saw it, but it's
We got some
checkered.
stuff here. The fuck is that?
Looks like a trash bag. It seriously just looks like you tagged Oh my god, that's just pure disrespect.
It looks like you made like a skirt out of birthday party streamers, like, you know, the ones that are like made of like the thinnest paper imaginable, and like it looks like you just took those and like scotch taped them all together, and then there's your skirt. It needs to be like big and puffy. Like, that's the problem. It's got to be like big and it's got to be puffy. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find that. Those are crazy.
I know. It's bizarre. Also, I just got word that I'll be going to Universal Studios Hollywood next weekend.
Hey, when did that come up?
Came up just now, actually.
Geez. Okay. Well, that's something to spring on you. Like,
So,
like out of the
unfortunately, that means I'm gonna have to delay my subathon again. Because I was supposed to have an entire week worth of streaming, but with all this coming up, it's like, well, I better postpone it again. Nothing better to do.
It's like the outfit that like comes like equipped with a big old fucking skirt. This thing? Oh my god, that's perfect. That's almost perfect. Like, look at this. It's so close to being correct.
Can we actually, like, add images or no?
We can add images, yes. In fact, I have everyone's cutie mark loaded up into here.
Oh, thank God. Finally, some good fucking food.
Tina, right? The Spider-Man and Hulk rides. They are so much better than what Disneyland has to offer. That's at Adventure Island, I think.
Wait, Universal Adventure Island?
Yeah.
I'll definitely see, but my main interest with Universal is Super Mario Land. The newly opened Mario attraction.
Oh, is that like open in America now?
Yeah, it's open in Hollywood.
Oh, chat. We gotta go. We gotta go there. We gotta
hold
go
up.
Mario.
Real life Tina and Stev meet up? Huh?
I want to. I would like to. That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be lit.
Hello, Mario.
Go where?
What do you mean, go? Under the sea.
Underwear.
Under the sea.
Underwear. Anyways.
Underwear.
Road trip with the long boy and Marshmallow. I literally just got here. I'm so confused. Okay, Patch.
Road trip with the long boy and Marshmallow. I can actually make a vlog of it if y'all want me to.
Patch, I want to go to Universal Studios, Hollywood, I believe, because the Mario stuff is there now, and I want to see that.
Yeah, it's been open for a while, actually. I think it's been open for a few months.
Really?
Yeah.
When was it like opened in Japan? Because I know it first came to Japan.
Yeah, it first opened in Japan, and then I think a few months later it was rolled out in America. Yeah, February of 2023 it was open in America.
That's crazy.
It was either February or it was delayed to a later date, but either way, it's open.
Yes. I'm so happy about that. I want that, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to visit on your way through. Oh, do you live in Cali?
No,
I'm talking to Patch.
Oh, yeah.
Chat. Trying to
between oh,
I could put Fluttershy in a prison uniform.
Prison jumpsuit.
Fluttershy commits a felony.
Charged with third-degree tomfoolery.
You have been charged.
It's almost time for a 120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
Is it?
Ah, shit,
no,
we got
not.
another ad.
No, it's not. Not yet.
It shouldn't be.
I say no.
Wait, hold on. Give her that last outfit again.
This one?
No, the
Pinkie Pie's best pony.
You and Ace, I think, would get along very, very well.
Ace loves Pinkie Pie.
Like, I can tell. I've known him for a while. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he has
Flash
like a Pinkie
Century is
Donkey.
best pony.
Are we just gonna keep changing the homunculus's best pony?
No, Rainbow Dash's best pony. Make Homunculus say that. Come on, y'all.
Well,
Don't
chat,
be cowards.
what does the homunculus think about Rainbow Dash?
What does Homunculus think?
We'll go to the question that we always ask ourselves whenever we're confused. What does the homunculus think?
What does the Homunculus think of best
I
pony?
don't know why keeps making me say the wrong thing, but Shining Wizard best pony.
That's fucking right, he is! That's fucking right! That's right, he is!
You know what? That's
You know what?
fair.
This guy's the best one. Period.
what?
End of story.
Yeah, this motherfucker gets it.
End of story. Surprisingly, Ace has no Pinky merch.
Bro.
What? That's impossible.
That's all he has?
I've seen his setup. How does he not have a single piece of Shining Arbor's
does
best
he not-
Bionicle? Bionicle is
you,
blasting the fuck off with crazy ass motherfucking wings and weapons.
Fuck you, I like
and
Bionicle.
unbelievable new choking hazards.
Dude, I am shocked that all Ace has is a shoulder plush.
I'm not talked with Ace all too much. I mean, we know about each other, but we've not really
know.
we've not talked too much.
But dude, the thing that I'll definitely say about Rainbow Dash is I eventually need to buy a Daki to
Well,
solidify the fact that she's my best pony. And I'm not talking about the anti-TOS ones either. I want just a cute, soft, cuddly Rainbow Dash Daki, okay?
You know what? I'm willing to accept that.
I
I'm willing
relate to her,
accept
you know?
that. Yeah, sure. I get you. I honestly
If
think
you-
that Rainbow Dash is pretty relatable.
If you can relate to Fluttershy, I can relate to Rainbow Dash just as much.
Well, I can also relate to Rainbow Dash on the level, like especially in something like Hurricane Fluttershy. I will say it 1,000 times. I've said 1,000 times before. Hurricane Fluttershy is one of the best episodes for Rainbow Dash. I do not think that there's any argument with that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it is one of her best portrayals, and the reason why is that a lot of the things that people
I
don't-
was fucking blown away when I heard Shining Armor for the first time, like as if being Jala and Vert Wheeler wasn't enough. He's now a pony.
Time for bed. Good night, Steph. Good night, friends. Also, Discord is actual best pony, and I will die on this hill. That's fair.
John Delancey is one of the better voice actors in the show. So I'll give you that, Patch.
Why do they all need to have big fucking skirts?
If I'm being honest, though, the biggest shock of My Little Pony, I think, has to go to William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Yeah, more like William Shitner.
Which episode was he in?
He was in The Perfect Pair with that song. You know,
What?
the episode with the "You're in My Head" like a catchy song. That one,
Huh?
where Applejack learns about her family and her parents.
Oh, hold on. William.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Look at his IMDb.
My God, he is.
Mm-hmm. He's grandpair. Weird Al married Pinkie Pie and impregnated her. That is canon.
That is canon, yes.
And the funny thing is, Weird Al had to make
It's
a
almost time
statement
for
on
a
his
120
Instagram following
seconds
that
minute
episode.
Cheetos break, my dudes.
Nope, not yet.
I will die on that hill acknowledging the fact that Weird Al got a horse laid. A
Jada.
cartoon Technicolor horse laid.
Jada, I apologize in advance for what I'm about to send you. I'm leaving this into the raw when I send this to you. I just want to say, I'm sorry. Pinkie Pie is the type to not have sex. She's the type to fuck.
I have made a severe lapse in my judgment, and I am severely sorry.
Pinkie Pie
I'm
doesn't have sex, chat. Pinkie Pie fucks.
Pinkie Pie fucked.
Like, cheese sandwich absolutely is a bottom. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Pinkie always is on top. You know?
No,
No,
dude,
no doubt. Zero doubt in my mind that she's
God
on top.
damn it, Newgrounds! Why do you do this to me?
Absolutely, like just like stack them on top of each other like they're Jenga blocks. Okay, Jada, just stack them on top. Just stack them on top. It's like fucking Jenga. All right.
Nah, for me,
When you
it'd
pull
be
out
like
cheese
Tetris.
sandwich, the entire Pinkie Tower just falls over.
Nah, wait, hold on. Imagine if cheese sandwich is that little L piece and Pinkie is the long piece.
The long piece.
Yeah.
In Tetris.
Yeah.
Oh no. We're never gonna get this shit done, chat. It's never gonna get
Hello,
done.
Mario.
Pizza Cat. Hi. Welcome on in.
Hi.
Welcome to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. You are gonna maybe not regret being here. I don't know. We're talking about
Scuba.
genuinely the worst thing.
More like Ligma.
Ligma.
Who the
Scubba.
fuck is Steve Jobs? Ligma balls. I'm surprised with how well I can remember that fucking meme.
Hello, Mario.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ash.
It's so sad that your pal Tina died of Ligma.
Who the hell is your pal Tina?
Ligma balls. Oh.
Thank you. I'll be here all weekend.
Good. Fuck it, chat. This is what we're doing, okay?
Yo, Featherfoot, you better submit this, or I will make you all subscribe to Joe. Thank you. The silence got me fucked up in the head. You're a legend. Thank you. Oh, baby. Anyway, frosted sugar cookies, am I right?
Yeah, they suck.
Well, to me, they're pretty good.
If you go to, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you go to Walmart and buy those, your Jordans are fake.
Excuse me, I'll have you know I have Nikes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
They're not.
Well, then
Jordans.
your Nikes are fake. How about that?
This motherfucker got them fake J's.
Your Nikes
It's
are
like-
fake.
Unless they're Cheetos
They're even better. Well, then that makes up for it.
frosted Cheeto cookies. That's diabetes in one bite.
Holy fuck, I gave her a Gertie? My god. Why does it kind of work, though?
It does, actually. Why
Well-
does it work?
I don't know, but I don't think I like it.
It's almost time for a
Okay.
120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
Alright, I cannot delay it any longer. We need to go to a break here in a second.
I cannot hold it in anymore.
I cannot delay the inevitable anymore, chat.
Ow, that was a good one.
This could work. This could work.
Yeah,
Hold on.
that could work.
Like if it goes up to her waist like this, I'm able to work with that.
Yeah. Listen, chat. I cannot hold it in anymore. I just want to, you know,
What?
You
It's
don't know
break
that
time.
meme?
Where the heck's the
Tina, you
Cheetos,
said
my
that you
dudes?
wouldn't bring your bullshit into the stream.
I'm sorry, I had a reflex. Welcome back to Gaming in the Clinton Years.
Like Illusion of Gaia, Earthbound comes
I
packed with a
genuinely
load
do
of
not
hints
know
if you
what
need
the
them.
meme is,
Earthbound
no.
is an easy RPG, but
Okay,
Nintendo wanted the
in that
game to be
case,
easy, so it provide
send that
constant,
to you on
uninterrupted
TikTok.
fun.
I'm
Earthbound
surprised
has
you
so
don't
many comic
know
elements to
the
it that Nintendo
logistics
doesn't
of this
want you to
meme.
give up on the game and never see those funny scenes. Earthbound is the first RPG to be set in modern times. You save your progress by calling your dad over the telephone and refill your energy by eating pizza. Speaking of pizza, you can
my
play the game
ability
with
to
your
not
left
know
hand
about
and eat
shit.
pizza in the other, since the game can be controlled with the L button, which lets you talk and check.
There are
otherwise
great many
known as
things I
search,
don't know
and the
about.
control pad to move. Prepare
There are
to
many
visit
things
several
I don't know
places, a
about
clubhouse,
the
arcade,
2000s,
burger shop.
specifically like the transition from analog to digital television. Did you know that shit happened 15 years ago? And the reason that most stations actually switched to digital was to free up broadband space for our phones and first responders. That's
I did not
insane
know
if you
that.
ask me.
I did not know that, no.
Yeah. There's always that one video that keeps popping up in my recommended that's like final analog TV sign off or whatever, or like this channel is ceasing operations. And I genuinely think the reason behind that is because they're still using analog signals and analog yeah. But that's just me. Because it's been one of my biggest fascinations. It's something I always look back on.
Om nom nom. Oh, excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
Hey, welcome back to Raw.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Raw.
Saturday Night Raw. I love it. Is there like any way we can make this poofier, chat? Because I don't like just having it like this. This is weird to me.
I have absolutely no clue.
Well, I'm not asking you specifically, Tina. I'm asking it rhetorically. I should say.
I know. Oh my god, that was a good one. I am so sorry, chat.
What?
Jesus Christ. I almost vomited as I burped.
What?
I think the spicy nuggets are kicking in.
Your acid reflux is saying nope.
By the way,
No.
chat, today seemed to be my lucky day. I got a 10-piece of spicy nuggets from McDonald's and they gave me 11.
You got the extra nuggy.
I got the extra nuggy, chat. I'm happy.
Can I get polka dots on these? I would like to get the polka dots on these ones here.
I would like to request polka dots.
If I can't get polka dots, I'll just have to get the polka dots my fucking self.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. They gotta be like red fucking socks. Like this. Speaking of McDonald's, did you hear that they're getting rid of free drink refills and self-serving machines?
Yeah, listen, the McDonald's I work at is slowly implementing it. We still have the drink fountain, but we have to make the drinks ourselves. I can tell you this because I work at a McDonald's right now.
That's incredible.
And it's well, at the same time it is, but it's stupid because I'm so used to getting my drink when I'm on break. I would always get it myself. But with this whole like self-serving drink machines, it's like, what the hell am I going to do on my break?
Just gonna sit there?
Like, I want my McDonald's Sprite while I'm sitting down for 10 minutes looking at TikTok.
That's all you want from this life.
Yeah,
And
all
yet-
I want is my McDonald's Sprite. Come on.
And you can't even
all
have
know-
that.
We all know it's really good. But the fact that they're taking it away from our fountains, it's bullshit.
Fight
But
for your
don't get me-
fountains. Hashtag.
I not my McDonald's.
Not my McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, not loving it.
Trying to make everyone move to those awful freestyle machines. Oh,
Listen,
like the ones like with the touch screen?
Yeah, I actually prefer those because they have a variety of different flavors. Like you can get fucking lime Coke. Lime Coke from that freestyle machine. It's not as available in stores anymore.
This is a genuine question, chat. Because like I've heard multiple times that people don't like those machines. What's so bad about them? Oh, when you work places that use them, it's awful. Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah, because they have to use the cartridges and not the whole, not like the different boxes containing the syrups. You have to get like the cartridges.
Oh, they use cartridges. That makes sense.
Yep.
They don't just... You tell me they put all that soda in one machine?
Uh-huh.
You told me they put that much soda in there?
Listen, like the old soda machines use CO2 and whatever soda syrup you want. Not to sound like a boomer, but whatever happened to human interaction when ordering your food? Again, it's like I'm always used to like not using the kiosk as much, but now it's like required of everywhere you go. If there's a kiosk there, you gotta order from there. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's stupid.
You're telling me the style of this Coke is free?
What?
I said what I said. You're telling me the style of this Coke is free?
Free in what?
It's freestyle Coke machine, Tina! It's funny!
Time for another sip of the old alcohol.
See? It's funny and hilarious.
In the sense that it drives me to drink.
Ara capybara.
Is that your response, homunculus?
That was the weirdest ara of all time. That
was so forced.
Sounds like, you know what? If I don't say something, I'm probably going to get fired. Like corporates watching in the distance being like, we're on to you, beast.
On to you, Mr. Beast.
Imagine if Mr. Beast was secretly homunculus. That'd be something. That'll be quite the interaction.
Like he was just like really tiny.
He's so much taller like in videos. What the hell?
Oh, I know. He like looks like a giant, but if you meet him in real life, he's I like imagining that he's like the size of like the palm of your hand. You're like,
I can fit multiple Mr. Beasts in the palm of my hand.
Hi, Billy Mays here with Hi, Billy Mays here with the mini beast.
Last Mr. Beast to leave my hand wins $10,000.
and it's like a Cat Icarus bit, and where it's like really tiny and the voice is pitched up.
Yes. You mentioned Cat Icarus. That'd definitely be something he'd do.
No, he would. He would literally have a bit in where he has a whole bunch of dudes in his hand.
What? Mr. Breast is my favorite YouTube. I hope he gives me 1 million Cheetos.
Oh my god!
I'll never find the boots for this. Where am I gonna find the boots? I will never find the boots that fit her. God damn it.
Oh my god, it's been a real honor having you here.
Having me here? I'm the one that's hosting the stream. By the way, if you're not following yet, I would like you to, please. We're trying to get to 1,000 by October 2nd.
And I'm trying to get to 1,000 on my own channel by the end of the year. So I'd appreciate it if you did the same to me. But also follow Stev, please.
Please, I'm trying to get to 1,000. If we get there, I'll play fucking Wrestling Empire, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be goofy. It's gonna be cool.
And if I hit 1,000, I'm gonna host a big fucking room party at BabsCon next year.
I'll probably be in there.
If you're not following to either me or Stev, fucking do it, and I'll host that big room party.
If 7.25 people follow us within the next
7.25
within the next 75 seconds.
How do you get 1/4 of a person?
I don't know.
Cloning.
We'll do the math. We'll get Scott Steiner in here. We'll fucking do it.
Scott Steiner.
We'll get like Scott Steiner in here, and he'll break it down for us.
A guitar.
A guitar.
Also, to answer your question, Defender, yes, there will be a ball pit at my room party. It'll fit the entire room. There will be fucking karaoke. There will be a bar, like games, you name it.
First thing I hear when
if I can afford it, I'll bring it to the party.
First thing I hear when I come in here is Deb screaming, "Where am I gonna find her boots?" Well, I found the boots, chat. There they are.
You found the boots.
Honestly, this doesn't look too bad.
All we're missing now is the goddamn polka dots. Well, finally we have Fluttershy done. Someone finally gets finished.
It only took us 82 minutes.
82 minutes to
most of which was just spent me like complaining about how I ate 2 big cookies. What?
You know they say that all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. So you got a 25%, at best, it beat me. Then you add Kurt Angle to the mix. Your chances of winning drastic.
Thank you.
We had that already. Homunculus. Be glad she doesn't need... What? This is a 90s kid reference, by the way. I'm a 2000s kid. You're barking up the wrong tree, brother. Last Tina. Tina.
What?
Look in chat. Do you know what Defender is referencing?
I'm not a 90s kid, unfortunately.
I genuinely want to know. I do not know what that is. Hey Arnold. It's a Hey Arnold reference. Ah. Okay.
Oh, I do remember Hey Arnold.
Subscribe to Papa right now or I will turn your kneecaps into hockey pucks.
You better listen to him, chat. He doesn't mess around with hockey.
Do it. He don't play around.
Have you seen his hockey game?
Dude, the playoffs are heating up right now.
It's available now on Xbox and PlayStation.
Xbox Live!
Xbox Live!
But seriously, the playoffs are really fucking heating up. 2 series going into 7 games.
Are you a hockey person?
Yes. I follow my Colorado Avalanche with a burning passion.
Cool. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're able to have that.
Except the Avs were knocked out in 6 games. So I'm a little disappointed.
What the hell is this like coral that she has on her head? This is like a rare rock that they found on the head. Being a Stars fan has been a ride.
Being a Stars fan has... Shut up.
You know what? I'll take your word for it.
Listen. Listen, chat. Listen, chat. Monday night. We're not talking about Monday Night Raw yet. I'm talking about Game 7 of the Western Conference semis between the Oilers and the Canucks. I'm excited for this series.
I think with that chat, Fluttershy's look is complete.
Let's go! Fluttershy is done.
Wait, no, she isn't. Hold on.
God damn it.
She is not done yet. One more thing.
Defender, is it bad to mention that I was born? Or, like, wait, hold on. The Mighty Duck went to the Stanley Cup final in 2003, right? Or am I stupid? I'm gonna look it up.
The Mighty Ducks are like, you know, a couple... I mean, those are like real-life ducks, right?
I would... No, Mighty Ducks, I think, was based off of the movie, the Disney film.
Oh, so they're not like
yeah, it was,
real life ducks,
it was a cartoon,
right?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the Ducks and the Devils in 2003. So I was born around the same time that year's playoffs were in high gear.
You're telling me those aren't ducks that were mighty?
I mean, they were very Mighty Ducks, because that Cup final series went to 7, if I remember correctly. And plus, it spawned one of the greatest legend stories in recent memory with what's his name, Paul Correa, was knocked down like halfway through the game, I think in Game 6, and then was later brought back onto the ice and scored a big goal that game.
They were ducks with hockey-themed powers. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Soul gets it.
So like they would come to your backyard, right? And they would like score some sick goals, right?
Yeah.
They like set up like the little goals in your backyard, and they would like play a match.
Yeah.
And then they would fly off to their next turn. Okay, hold on. Because not everything is available for this game in terms of like announcements. So we need to like basically go with the next best thing.
Fletcher what? Fletcher Sky. Fletcher Sky. Fletcher Sky.
Fletcher Sky. that sounds like you're trying to like describe the main 6 after you've like already downed like 5 shots, you know?
For real. We better end up on those videos of idiots laughing at name sound-alikes.
Mm-hmm.
Featherfoot, you know what to do. Fletcher Sky is my new favorite announcement. I swear to God, when we eventually unveil these characters, we're all just gonna be rolling on the floor.
We have their official announcement.
From Pakistan.
What? What?
The first thing I saw when you were scrolling through the countries was Pakistan.
I put them all through different like fictional places. Like, for example, Applejack is from the pits of hell. Sunset Shimmer is from Out of This World.
Yeah.
Twilight is from Camelot.
Camelot.
Rainbow Dash is from Wyoming.
Because Wyoming doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. And
I feel like
your darkest fears, right?
The internet. No, from the internet.
I don't want that because that implies bad things. I don't want that.
No, Pinkie Pie would be from the internet then, because she's notorious for breaking that dreaded wall.
Your darkest fears, right? She hangs out there with Discord or the fifth dimension. You know what? I think the fifth dimension is a bit more apt.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the fifth dimension.
Take it.
And there's absolutely no way you can get me to like change her face or heel alignment. She is 100% a face the whole time. Respectful all the way.
Turn that slider all the way up.
She's only a little perseverant. She's loyal.
Very cowardly.
Hell yeah.
All the way up, actually.
All the way up. I feel like she'd be aggressive.
Yeah, remember that putting your hoof down episode I mentioned earlier?
Yeah, that she's only like a third of the way there, I feel like.
Iron Will taught her well, but not well enough.
Never apologize when you can criticize, as he said.
Never apologize when you can criticize. I can't do the voice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to get your hopes up.
Be assertive.
Be assertive, goddammit. In my here United States of America, it's all about dignity, perseverance, and respect.
Never apologize when you can criticize, chat.
Never apologize when you could get some large fries.
Never apologize when you can get some bitches.
God damn it. I hope you know I have one already.
Okay, and?
God damn it.
What?
We're not going to acknowledge Derps here.
Listen, I'll acknowledge Derps. Derps is cool.
He hit like 800 followers earlier today, and
That's
he graduated from college yesterday.
That's really cool.
Never apologize.
Never apologize when you can get a bag of bones.
No. No, no. I'm taking your bones. Homunctuous.
Homunctuous.
Homunctuous, excuse me.
Homunctuous.
I think I said it too before we started. Homunctuous.
Homunctuous. But you could get more if you wanted. There's an S on bitches.
There's an S in bitches.
Oh yeah, there is an S in bitches. Yes.
But there's an E. There's an E right before the S as well.
Yeah.
I before E.
It's like, it's the Markiplier thing, you know? The Markiplier on Farquaad.
Yeah.
There's only one good video of that, and it's the one in where the guy just took all the E sounds from Shrek and made a video out of it.
Yeah.
That's the only good usage of that meme.
And dude, if only I had a voice changer so I could do the E bit properly.
E. No, hold on.
Never apologize when you can get some Five Guys. Five Guys is good. Don't you diss Five Guys on me.
Come on, let me find it.
Fucking Markiplier.
I'll try to do something with it. E.
Yeah, Five Guys is expensive, but it's still good.
Oh, hold on.
That's why I go there every Tuesday.
E.
That is significantly better.
E.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You're entering the fourth dimension, not the fifth. I just fucking spit everywhere, bro. I hope you're happy.
Never apologize when you can fetishize. Get out! 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 He is in the tunnel now. I'm out. I found my way out. Every day 2 to 5 people walked in, saw the prices, and left. The price, yeah, exactly. Every day 2 to 5 people, 2 to 5 guys walked in, saw the prices, and left.
2 to 5 guys.
I will say, compared to other burger places, for like how much they cost, Five Guys is incredibly mid. For how much they're charging, it's mid. But if they charged a little less, it would be pretty good. I feel like.
Like if they charged like $4 per burger, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. If they charged like
McDonald's is no different
burger.
because California's wages are going up.
Mm-hmm. Never apologize when you can giraffe ties.
When you can giraffe the size.
You fantasize about giraffes.
Yeah. Fantasize everything to do with giraffes.
Part of working
Just imagine imagine how long their necks could reach if they didn't have bones. Never apologize when you can get squeezed between thighs.
Part of working at Five Guys is learning the names of the Five Guys. I refused to learn them and got that question wrong on the test. And when you got that question wrong at the test, they took the $5 and they added, and they took the decimal place and moved it over towards the right a little bit.
So it's 50 cents.
So it's like, no, it is $50. It goes from $5 to $50.
Oh my god.
They take the $5, they like take the decimal point and they move it towards the right one. Exactly.
Never apologize when you can monetize. Exactly.
That's a YouTuber hustle, bud. Let me re-clarify. Jackset the guy did a moment where Judge was Farquaad.
Who? Who's Judge?
Judge Farquaad sounds like a bad daytime show.
My god, just imagine Judge Judy, except it's Judge Farquaad.
There's like a whole cinematic universe of like judge shows.
What's one that I remember seeing? It's called The People's Court, I think.
Also, you have a good night, Feather. Thank you for sticking around. Good night,
Feather. Have good eeps. But yeah, there are a lot of like Judge Judy knockoffs these days. Like again, The People's Court.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, there is one that I saw that's kind of a spin-off of Are You the Father or whatever that show is called. Judge Steve
Harvey is a wild one. Yeah.
That's one that I have not seen.
I know about that one. It's the only one that's ever on prime time. I know this because
that one.
Playing
the Steve Wilkos show.
The Steve Wilkos show.
Yeah, that's where he had that segment called Are You the Father, I think.
Are you the
when he has the DNA results, he determines whether or not the parent is the father or not.
He determines whether or not he is the father.
Yeah. That's all I know about the show. Please don't come at me with pitchforks.
I'm not a fan of that just conceptually, you know? Like that's something that needs to be like just, you know, pulled to the back, like with the Shepherd cane, and just like taken out back.
The Shepherd cane?
You know, like the thing that they pull out like on stage plays, and like it's hold on. I'm gonna fucking look this up. Yeah, like the sheep.
Yeah, hold on, pull it up real quick.
Yeah. Sheep herder.
Never apologize when you can brutalize.
Yeah, the shepherd crook.
Shepherd crook.
I'm gonna show you it. I'm gonna show you the shepherd crook.
Go for it.
It's almost time for a 120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
Not yet.
No, not yet. This right here is the shepherd crook.
Oh,
this thing.
Yeah, I get it now. When you said shepherd cane, I thought you were referring to a goddamn shotgun. Like, give him the old Yower treatment, goddammit.
God damn. We're gonna take a break, chat. I really need to.
Please do. Let's take a lap.
I need to go and get water. I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll be back in a few minutes.
I need to go speed piss, so I'll be right back as well.
Okay. See you in a few, guys.
Yep. Real.
Chad, I got a new marketing strategy for my stream. If you come over to the stream, you'll laugh so hard that you'll sweat out every single sickness.
I'm not even kidding. When I left to use the bathroom, I did not realize how much sweat I had collected on my shirt. So now I'm wearing something underneath the shirt. Don't worry. I'm not completely fucking bare chest naked. I mean, I am a horse after all. We don't really wear clothes to begin with, but
very true.
Listen, the marshmallow's human has got to stay cool in this very, very hot and humid time.
Do wear shoes. The only solution is to pour water all over your back. Then that's the wetness, not the sweat. Suddenly, boom, different problem. But when you have one problem, another one will surely emerge. So
exactly.
You know what? Soul has never steered us wrong ever. So that's gotta be Kane.
I know.
It does gotta be Kane. Look at it.
Who else but Kane?
That's gotta be Kane. Yeah, welcome back to tonight's stream, everyone. Hopefully you all have been having fun so far.
Welcome back to tonight's edition of Saturday Night Raw.
Hopefully you've been having fun, Tina.
Oh, absolutely. This has been a hell of a lot of fun.
We've not even done anything. We've been sitting here not even doing the thing that we were supposed to do. This has happened 3 times now.
You've got to make something out of nothing sometimes. Come on, man.
Something out of nothing? I've been doing something here since day one, son.
I know. Before we started, you told me this is all we're doing for stream. You know I at least have to put on some kind of show. When I'm over here vibing, I gotta improvise.
That's why I brought people on here so that they could help me, you know, try and keep things going. So
yeah, so you don't be lonely every Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Alone on a Saturday night? God, you must be making wrestlers, and I'm proud of you for doing such a thing.
Hey, what are your hobbies and special talents? Oh, I make wrestlers in a video game. Oh, that's cool. You're hired.
Only were that easy to get a job.
Me applying for Taco Bell.
No. You're hired.
I'm not even kidding, chat. I live within walking distance of my local Taco Bell. It's like a 10-minute walk, like max. If I wanted to, I could run.
I'm so done with this. I'm so done with these skirts, chat. I'm finished. I'm done with them. It's over.
It's Jover, chat. We're not using these dresses anymore.
I'm so fucking done with this.
Go with something that has, like, a short... Actually, wait, no. It's, like, just below the knee.
How about this? We go with something that's like pants. How about we do that?
Yeah,
let's do that.
I was gonna also suggest go with something from what is it, the episode with the Smile song. Go with fit like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll send it to you.
Send that shit to me. I found a different version of Pinky that I could go in a different direction with.
Yeah.
Need be.
Specifically, the one that I'm talking about is this one. This is the outfit I'm talking about. It's from the it's not Feeling Pinky Keen. It's
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's from the season 2 episode.
Chat. I think that this is what we gotta do. I think we gotta do this.
We have to.
What is this, you may ask?
Show chat right now.
Hello, Mario.
Hi, a town of cinnamon. How are you doing? I accidentally bought too much butter. Good morning. Good morning.
Butter for what? Your coffee? Is that how you start your day, with a shit ton of butter in your cup of joe?
We've all been there. Soul's right, actually.
But yeah, that's the outfit that I'm talking about. Toast.
Butter toast. There, chat. That's the fit. We're doing that.
We're doing
this
it.
now. We're doing this now because it's not going to take me like an hour to make, hopefully.
The reason that I prefer a fit like this rather than her EQG design is because it's the simplest to replicate in real life.
Exactly. Yes. In fact, look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna find a sweatband for you right now, chat. Watch. I didn't find a sweatband for you right now, chat.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
God damn it! What does this game have?
Apparently nothing.
This
Pinky Jackson.
This game has jack shit to its name, chat. How do people make anything here? How cooked is it?
It's Jover.
Are sweatbands only for men for some reason? I know.
Apparently so.
I know that there are certain accessories that are only for like one sorry, like for one or the other. Accessories. I can give her the chat. I've always wanted to make Pinkie Pie a Scott Steiner, honestly.
She's gonna look straight out of Skyrim with that fit.
In fact, chat, I will. I'm gonna make Pinkie Pie Scott Steiner right here, and that'll be her entrance gear. Okay?
Oh my god.
But first, we need to do probably the hardest bit of this, honestly. And that is the hair.
Oh, we have to find that fucking microwave-ass hair.
How the fuck are we gonna decide on this? Do they not have headbands? Wait.
That one could work.
It could work, but I don't want to use it. Because it doesn't have the little thing at the end. But then again, none of these will. You know? None of these will have the little thing at the end. None of them will have the little strand, the little whoop-de-doo at the end.
As big as possible.
Yeah, we gotta go as Paul said. Yeah, just need as big as possible, I think. You are
as big and puffy
as possible. You're right.
Yeah. Afros don't count. I'm sorry, Ice Spice.
Like this right here, right?
Oh no. That's not gonna cut it, Chief.
The Sonic the Hedgehog fit.
This Sonic alternate reality fit.
You want to see something that's even crazier than that?
Oh god. Don't you dare.
Here's Goku. This is literally just This is literally just in the game, Tina. I didn't add anything. This is just in the game.
No, hold on. She's gotta rock that now. She's gotta.
Chat. I leave that in your hands. Do I make Super Saiyan Pinkie Pie?
Mods, make a poll.
You know what? Yeah. Make a poll, chat. Make a poll right now. Tell me if I should.
Super Saiyan Pinkie.
Tell me if I should make Ultra Instinct Pinkie.
Ultra Instinct Pinkie Pie? If she could do it at Smile HD, it should carry over to wrestling, okay? If you know, you know.
I don't think she does. Let me learn how to make a poll. Okay,
Let me learn how to make a poll.
I have no take for this. Listen, this is the biggest issue on our time. We have no room for fence sitters. Okay?
We have no hair customization options.
This is what we must resort to, and only you can help me decide.
This is as diverse as Halo 4.
Genuinely, like, the amount of options for, like, women in this game.
Wait, did I say Halo 4? I meant Fallout 4.
It is pretty limited, honestly.
Both are extremely limited. Just like the toilet paper supply.
That's so old!
I know. It's such a shocker that it only happened 4 years ago.
No,
COVID was 4 years ago. That's how old we are now. I'm aging like milk.
You ever think about how, like, life before COVID doesn't even feel like it happened? Or rather, like, it doesn't even feel like it existed now?
Can we just pretend that 2020 never happened, Shep? Please?
I mean, people would like to think that.
I mean, I think that way all the time. What are you talking about? I like to think that 2020 was, like, not existent. 2020 never happened, Shep.
You know what? Fair. Super Saiyan Pinky. I've got
Both
no
makes Stevs.
I'm sad. The first vote is that. Hold on. I'm voting. It's voting. All right, two are voting to make me sad. Three are voting.
Can I change my vote?
Four are making me sad. Chat, come on. Really? You're voting to make me sad, all of you.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I love you too, Soul.
Don't make the long boys sad.
It seemed comedic to me. It was. It was very funny. It was very funny.
Chat, try to be funny for me, okay?
That's a joke answer, but if only one do regular Pinky, LOL. I'm pretty sure that none of the others are going to get votes. Ow!
Oh my god. Like 10 Sonic rings and 15 bags of Cheetos.
And rubber chickens and all that. That was also very funny, yes. Okay, yeah, both. It's both, chat. It's fucking both. You know what?
It's both.
Holy fuck. That's some crazy hair. I'm pretty sure Steph has mega concussion now.
Mega concussion.
Hey, listen. I still know that there are 13 months in the year, okay? I know that there are 13 months in the year. And 385 days.
Hold on. What does Big Kev do? Oh, that's what it does.
Don't do Bane.
Steph, are you okay? Steph?
I'm okay, Sax.
That is all. I haven't seen the full thing after that December compilation.
Huh?
Huh? Indeed.
Alright, let's see if you can get it. Ah! That's how to sim and you stink.
Hold on. Damn it, it's on cooldown.
Yep. Can't just throw it out willy-nilly.
Unfortunate.
So something like this is probably as close as we're gonna get.
It's also accurate to the EQG design.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. If you go back to the previous ref sheet, or the previous reference, it's the closest to the EQG design, in my opinion.
Ah, okay. Well then, you know what? I fucks with that. We'll keep it.
I fucks with it too.
So she has the headband. She has the headband, which means we need to not go there, but probably more. No, you gotta be kidding me.
You're relapsing.
Can't have shit on Reach.
You can't have shit in Detroit.
Fuck it. Taking this out for a second. She's bald now, chat.
My eyes!
My eyes! Yeah, exactly. Like incredibly bedazzled. I don't like that. She seems nice. Tina's pretty cool, yeah.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the 3 ingredients used to make the perfect marshmallow.
But then I added wrestling to the mix, and it was never the same.
But Professor Stev accidentally added a secret ingredient to the concoction. Chemical wrestling.
Chemical graps.
Chemical graps. That's definitely a quote.
Look at this crazy ass hair.
Now that is what I call a bad hair day.
And give her a fucking whatever this is. It's a mullet. You know what?
It looks like the mullet I rocked in like 2019.
You know what? I can fucks with that. Well, that's if you suspend your disbelief just enough, it's Pinkie Pie. If
You're
you
right.
suspend your belief, if you suspend your disbelief just enough, it's Pinkie Pie.
Just enough, chat. If you believe real hard, she's right there.
Yeah, it's like she's actually physically in the room with us right now.
And you can reach out and touch her too.
Is Pinkie Pie in the room with us right now, Tina?
I think she's in my walls actually.
It's this.
Fuck, I think she's calling out to me.
Hold on.
Oh god, I'm terrified. Chat, I think she's about to breach my walls. I'm scared.
Hold
on. Mom, can you come pick me up? Mom, could you, this is a call for help, please? Come pick me up.
Is Pinkie Pie in the room with us right now, Tina?
Oh my fucking god! Oh, damn it, this reminds me of 2022. Yes, chat, if you're unaware, I was in a psych ward for shit like this.
Holy shit. That's insane. Stev gas isn't working. What do you mean it's not working?
Oh, the sounds are going through.
Hold on. I know why it's not working. It's because for some reason StreamerBot is being weird. There you go. It should work now.
Listen, I don't need StreamerBot for that. I have a thing called Trigger Fire.
It's really slow. It's very slow. I don't like it very much.
Make gas sounds with your mouth? Okay, bet.
There, I did it.
Now watch me. There you go.
Ew.
That was... Is that what you wanted, Cinnamon? Did you get your wish?
Is that what you wanted?
I
Is that what you wanted, you 6 sons of bitches? You 6 son of a bitch!
Oh, that's fucking incredible.
You 6 son of a bitch.
You 6 son of a bitch, I'm in. Wait, what do you mean, Kane Tina? What?
Kane Tina. Tina is a horse.
Tina is a horse.
Yes. Yes. She is. Congratulations. You figured it out.
Congratulations, you got the meme.
You finally understood the joke.
Congratulations, you won a brand new car. Just like Price is Right music here. Thank you, editor.
Yeah. My favorite. Do 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 do. My favorite game show music.
That's the editor's job.
My favorite game show music.
Wait, I could do it better. Prepare your ears. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Jesus.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Sometimes my ADHD can get that bad, chat.
I love Family Feud. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Naked grandma.
What the Why can't I find a suit of...
Is she Batwoman now?
I'm trying to find an undershirt. But I think that the play is not actually this. I think the play is probably kind of like, we need to go in the direction of like this, right? We need like a full like body outfit.
Yeah.
Something like, let's see. Something along the lines of this, maybe.
Yeah, that'll work.
Maybe something that goes a bit further up to her collar. Maybe. I mean, like, it doesn't have to go up to her collar, but I would like it to.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm gonna spend too much time trying to find it.
Hold on, I'll tell you which one looks best. You just go through them one by one.
Okay.
Oh, ew, the maid outfit? No, save that for me.
I didn't know I was making Tina tonight as well.
I mean, you could, but it can't be this stream.
No, it can't. I thought you were doing a different reference. Oops. Says,
I mean, we have the hair from the EQG design, I think.
I think the hair's fine as is. I don't think that's an issue at this point.
Yeah. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like that one. Yeah, that one works. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I like that one more. Just make it the same color as the headband and we're set.
I gotta make it all the same color.
There you go. Yeah, just make it the same color.
There you go.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works out.
That works out perfectly.
Now, let's see.
Get down to business.
Let's see about her wrist. Oh, that's perfect.
Actually, that works out beautifully.
This is actually perfect, chat.
Yeah.
This right here is the fit.
I fuck with this. So it's just I think same color as the shorts along like the top and the bottom. And then that orange strip has to be like that specific shade of yellow.
Which you've already used.
Yeah. So it works out in our favor, actually.
There.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at us.
Look at that, chat. We're letting them cook.
Or arm.
And now we mirror that on the other wrist.
God, finally something in this shit looks good.
Finally some good fucking food.
Finally something here looks kind of like how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Jesus, it only took us like 7 characters, but we finally got there.
But I think this last
character.
Who do we have left?
We have Rarity left.
Oh god.
And then we're done. And then that's it.
I think Rarity is going to be the hardest to mirror. At least in this kind of game.
Well, you know, god damn it, I'm gonna try. I always try. Now, will I succeed? I don't know. But we're gonna try.
We're gonna get there, don't worry. We're gonna get there.
Hello, AK Gamer, how are you?
Oh, it's the first time chatter.
Welcome to tonight's Lomboy Club meeting.
Welcome.
Let's see if I can find some,
Do not give her the fucking Pomni socks.
Well, what if I give her these?
You know what? That would be a better option than the fucking Pomni socks.
I am in fact creating a claw. Yes.
The CAW.
Yeah, yeah, like a creator wrestler.
Yeah.
There's gotta be some fucking stockings that just fit this.
Floor it.
Floor it. Okay, floor it.
Floor it.
Back it up.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite old school SpongeBob episodes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like the first time I watched it, I was laughing my ass off at that backing up scene.
It is very funny, yes.
It is very funny to a 3-year-old.
No, it's funny to a 24-year-old too. Okay.
Listen, I was saying it was funny to a 3-year-old because that was the first time I ever watched that episode.
Jeez. 3-year-old. Fuck. Ah.
Yep. Back when cable was affordable.
Hurling ever closer to the grave, chat.
I know.
Where the fuck is anything in this fucking
Very
mode?
late bloomer I am,
It's
chat.
break time.
I am sorry.
Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
You can do it, Stev. No, like, listen, I'm having fun, alright? I'm having fun. But, it's disheartening sometimes seeing how this game is.
Oh, hey, Mario RPG.
Best Super Nintendo game.
Dude, what are your thoughts on the remake?
I've not played the remake, actually.
No, like, no, like, when it was first announced, what were your thoughts?
I was like, I'm gonna play that, and I'm gonna stream it. I've not played it, and I've not streamed it.
Well, you gotta now.
It's actually been a while since I played a role-playing game on stream. I would like to do one again.
Who knows?
Dude, I feel the need to play more games than usual, like stream games I usually play. Yeah, they did drop the remake on Switch. I'm fucking excited.
The battle controls are the best of any RPG.
I heard if you like the original, you will probably like, you know, the remake. It's basically the same game as before.
It's just higher quality.
It's just higher quality trademark.
The 3D graphics of this game are
It reminds me a lot like of Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah,
and where like you know, like the sorry, the spirit of the graphics are retained. It's just that they're modernized.
The Link's Awakening remake was phenomenal.
Grab a pen or pencil, quick. In Super Mario RPG,
Grab one,
you have to play 3 different songs at 3 different times in order to win membership
I'm getting quizzed on this.
Yeah.
The last song is the
God
hardest.
damn it.
The notes are la ti do, re so, do re mi. I hope you're writing this down. Look closely at the placement of the
I hope you're writing this down. Books are for nerds.
Again, the notes are la-ti-do.
You don't need to write in a book. Just make sure you got some fucking
We'll leave it
paper.
up for the slow writers out there. Playing this tune
What
will lead you
paper?
to
I
soprano
have
card,
Notepad
which
is
will
my
allow you
best
to buy
friend.
the Caro
What kind of
Caro
Zoomer has
Nom nom.
paper,
Oh,
boomer?
excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
Hey, welcome back to Raw.
Points for your party. Some games really tick you
Sorry,
off.
right now I'm
Super
being
Mario
quizzed
RPG is one
on
of them.
Super Mario
In one section
RPG.
of the game, you have to climb vines to reach
How
Nimbus
big is your
Lake,
brain
which is
right
floating
now,
high in the
Tina?
sky.
It
Our game
is
guy Tom
very
Allen was
smooth,
so mad,
actually.
he almost
Oh,
broke his controller
well,
in
mine,
half. The play control
well,
in
mine
this
is like
area
ripples,
awful,
you know.
especially
It's got
this
like
jump
little,
right here.
little
He's still
wrinkles
trying to make
on
this
there.
jump without falling.
Yeah, the more
More
wrinkles,
knowledge.
the more wrinkles, the smarter.
My nerve
So keep
endings are in
watching the show for more
overdrive right
coverage
now.
of that famous mustachioed plumber.
I want to play another role-playing game on stream though, chat. I've thought about doing like a third stream a week, just so I can play an RPG again.
Yeah.
I'm not really
Nothing
done
beats a
cool, refreshing sip of water. Thank you. Oh, I'm out of PewDiePie juice. I will have to substitute for water.
I just made more. I made more.
You made more PewDiePie juice?
I made more Smitty juice, actually. Listen, that milk bag has grown on me the last year or so.
Milk bag?
You don't know Smitty? You don't know Smitty, the funny Canadian milk bag?
I know about Smitty the funny sword from Super Mario RPG. But
we were just talking about Mario RPG, though. Where's your head at, man?
Dude, listen. Listen. Do you like waffles at all?
Yeah, depends on, you know, who makes them and how they make them.
Do you like pancakes?
Do you like French toast?
Do. Can't wait to get a mouthful.
Waffles!
Waffles!
God damn it, I wish I had that song on my soundboard. I am irate.
No, like, genuinely, when we're at this point, like in the stream, when we're almost at 2.5 hours, the brain cells are just shutting down, you know?
Mine have been shut down.
So, like, this right here is the fit, right? I feel like this is good. In order to keep with it, we need to keep it barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep her barefoot for this.
You know what? It's fitting.
I was about to say, I feel like this is what like Pinky would just do. So
she would pull up to the ring barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how dedicated to the grind she is.
She's
best
on that
part of coming to
mindset.
Texas, getting a hotel with a Texas shaped waffle iron. I prefer a California shaped waffle iron.
Best part about Texas, getting out of Texas.
Best part of coming to Texas, Whataburger.
Leaving Texas. I mean, Whataburger is a good sell.
Back in Texas, the ocean's no place for a squirrel.
Okay, but I'm poor, so kind of stuck. Fair.
That's kind of a skill issue, not gonna lie.
Jesus. I don't think any of them are like taller than the others. They all gotta be kind of like the same in terms of like
the same height.
Yeah. We'll go back and give them stats at a later time. Right now we're just focused on, you know, appearance. Yeah. Would Pinkie Pie have some muscle on her?
Yeah, she could. If she's, you know, the Iron Pony, which I don't think she's ever competed in that competition, so beats me.
I feel like this is probably the fit then. We'll keep it kind of thinnish.
Yeah.
I feel you there, making plans to get out of here. Is like everyone from Texas?
I'm not. I'm originally from Baltimore.
I see Pinkie Pie as not being too muscular. You're probably right on that.
She does have a lot of hidden power beneath that pink coat.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we need to like max out our stats. Because like after this, we need to like do quite a bit still. We need to like give them stats, we need to like give them their signatures and finishers. And then we need to make entrances. We are like like once we're done with all this creation chat, we're only like 50% of the way there, really. We still have like
Squidward on a chair.
Squidward on a chair.
You said 50% of the way there.
No,
So
I know. No, I got it. Squidward on a chair.
Anytime I hear the words "we're halfway there," that's all I can think of. So that's why I say that out loud. Squidward on a chair.
Tina, I want you to get your soundboard ready for when I say this, okay?
Hold on 1 second. What sound do you have in mind? Just type it.
The one that says a shape.
Oh, okay.
Wow, they have it.
You're welcome.
Irma Dash is about to come out to the Hurricanes entrance. Oh, she has to, though, chat.
Yes.
We need to give her the hurricane music to Square!
Yeah. Hold on. Let me actually reenact the bit myself. Intensive. I bet they won't have.
Wow, they have it.
Listen, that's the only thing that I'm known for in my streams. For some reason, everyone fucking loses their shit when I play that sound.
Chad, what do you lose your shit for when when I do something? What do you lose your shit for over Giraffe?
Listen, Doomslayer. We don't talk about that stuff here. I'm just being real.
You get shocked by metal pipes. That's very true.
Oh, wait, hold up. You mean like this?
Well, it doesn't really like, it doesn't shock me when I know it's coming. I mean, chat. Listen.
I mean, fair.
Hello, Mario.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Mario.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That was so well timed!
What the fuck?
Tina, are you seriously not seeing that edit?
I am the production queen, chap.
Let's run that back.
Oh my god, come!
Oh my god!
Come! Oh my god, chat, you know what to do.
Go to sleep. You know,
go
give
bed.
us all a break.
Go bed.
Yo, give us all a break.
Oh my god. That was beautiful, by the way. That was fucking beautiful. That was not my intention.
Chat.
But yeah,
Tina,
chat, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do, chat. Get it done.
You may as well.
Nut.
No, you eat Cheetos.
I hate you. I hate you.
Well, chat, I genuinely don't know what... I do not know what it is that you're going to do. So you may as well do it.
You might as well, chat.
Do it
Just
right now.
get it out of the way.
I'm right here.
Go ahead.
Bro, I'm
go
right
ahead.
here. I'm right here, bro.
Get it out of your system, chat. Come on.
Oh, it's got Diane.
Oh. Convenient.
Ara.
You know what?
Sit your ass down. Go to sleep. You know, give us all a break.
You know, give us all a break.
Give us all a break. Listen, it's not my bedtime yet. You can't tell me what to do.
Sit your ass down. Diane Pine. There you go.
Diane Pine. Yes. Me when Diane Pine.
Nah. I got a better sound for you.
Okay. Wait, no. Do I have... Hold on. Do I have a better sound?
Nope.
I'm just using soundboard shit at this point, chat. This right here is why it's going to take us 4 hours to finish this shit. Just for that, I'm going to give... What? When she died...
When she died...
Run that by me one more time. She dying on my pie.
I will not be replaced by a soundboard.
What? You know, sure. Let's go for that.
The Diane Pine.
Where is Pinky from, chat?
Where Pinky is from the internet.
The internet?
Uh-huh. That's I'm under the impression that at this point Pinky was born by the internet.
Hello everybody, my name's Markiplier and I am a fish.
Hello everybody, hold on. I got it. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome back to Fish.
This is looking great so far, Steph. That sounds accurate. What, the internet?
Yeah, the internet.
You know what? Sure. We'll go with that, chat.
Listen, if Bo Burnham could sing that song well, I'm sure Pinkie Pie would be a great duet.
If you believe with your entire soul that Pinkie Pie is, in fact, from the internet, then we'll go with it. I'll go with you on that.
She definitely touches grass.
Pinky ain't from the internet. She.
Gulp.
What?
Homunculus.
Homunculus, are you drunk?
You good, bud? You know what? Doesn't look too bad, honestly.
It doesn't.
It honestly doesn't look all that bad.
She would definitely be on TikTok. Yeah, she'd be one of those thug shakers.
Thug shaker.
Listen, I've been
like
on the
one of
internet
those
long
TikTok
enough.
baddies that like listens to like Deftones and shit, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like she would 100% be slamming Change in the House of Flies.
Yeah.
Core version.
I feel like, no, it would be that one German song that's been stuck in my head for the last week.
Which one?
Barbara's Rhubarb Bar.
Do you want to hear
that one?
Okay, well, you know, I gotta give you a German song as well.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Chat. You may remember this. We played this during Shining Wizards playthrough.
Oh, no.
You may remember such bangers as the song in where the police descend on the parrots because they were annoying.
Oh no.
Let's find them. Remember this, chat? Remember this guy?
Ich habe einen kleinen Papagei. Der macht den ganzen Tag ganz viel Geschrei.
Is it bad that I can't hear it?
What now?
I can't hear it.
Ah, no. Hold on. Yes, it is bad that I can't hear it. Rather that you can't hear it. Hold on just a second. And it's also kind of bad that you can't really see it either. So.
Diane Pine would be the kind of chick to do the funny Anka dance.
The funny Anka dance?
It's bad. It's bad that I know exactly what you're talking about. And I could imagine fucking Newgrounds to go nuts over it.
Here it is.
Ich habe einen kleinen Papagei. Der macht den ganzen Tag ganz viel Geschrei.
I still cannot hear it, unfortunately.
Are you kidding me?
I don't have stream muted in Discord.
Well, here. I know why you can't hear it. Let's see.
Let's see if I can hear it now. There we go.
I don't even know what the point of this was. I just started listening to this. I don't even remember like what brought us to this moment.
Why does that feel like the German equivalent of the BINGO, the bingo song? Bingo was his name, oh?
It probably is. It's probably like the same melody. I love this one in particular. I love this image of just like a parrot looking at himself and it's a banana.
Banana.
Der Polizist, der schrieb ein Protokoll. Das fand der Papagei dann gar nicht toll. Sagt hallo, Kokoko, einfach so.
The police legislated against the birds.
Auf der Straße sowieso, morgens früh, Kokoko, abends spät, Kokoko, ganz verschärft, Kokoko, Mann, das nervt, Kokoko.
Man, that's annoying.
Man, that's annoying.
I love how that's one of the translations.
It's like a literal translation. Man, that's annoying.
That's really funny.
There you go. There's your German for the day, chat.
Yay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we was German. Yo, Pinky Undertale?
I wasn't prepared.
I'm just now realizing that.
There you go. It looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Finally away from that uncanny valley.
Need to copy the attire. Bring it on over. Save it. And now, we only have one more to go.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Finally.
Wait, do I have the sound?
Do I have the sound?
I think I have the sound.
Oh, hold on.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Oh, hold on.
I love how it cuts off.
Here, I got the one you want. I found this years ago and it's so good.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
It's time for the moment you
Legally distinct. This is Silva Gunner.
I can tell this is Silva Gunner. I love it.
It's legally distinct.
You know, the thing that's bad about it is I know exactly someone in the fandom that works for Silva Gunner.
What now?
I know someone from this fandom that works for Silva Gunner.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Who is it?
Josh the Pink Gump on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the rippers.
That's fucking awesome.
I know.
This is gonna be a pain in my ass. This is gonna be such a pain, chat. But I'm determined. We're gonna do this.
Press 1 in chat if you believe in him.
She's a ghost.
Press 1 right now if you believe in him.
1. Stay determined, Stev. Let's do it. You know what, chat?
Fill yourself with determination.
Fuck this music. We're doing this shit. I'm going to battle, chat.
We ride into battle.
Shit. You can't hear it. You can't hear my soundboard. Have I been like doing this in silence this whole time?
Unfortunately, you have.
What there we go. Fuck? Where is my stream deck?
Hold on. Where? Hold on. There is a specific sound. Oh, fight forever. Yep, I heard it.
Spare serotonin, please.
Spare serotonin.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing this to the fight music of our people, chat. For Skyrim. Let's do it.
You know what's funny? I have the Skyrim level up sound.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when we do finish Rarity, I'll have it on standby.
I hope you can remember that for 45 minutes, because it's probably gonna be how long it takes. You won't?
I have it favorited right now.
Okay. I trust her to remember it, chat.
If I get this right, you gotta subscribe.
76? Thank you. Thank you for the bits, Doomslayer. Oh, did you think there was music this whole time? Yes! I thought there was music! I thought there was music. I was playing music. God damn it. Ah, that's close! That's so close!
My god, that is close.
Alright, if we can't find anything... What?
Beautiful.
Maybe.
No. We stick with that one. That one's good. This one is good.
This one?
Yes.
Alright, we're going with it. We need the purple hair. Also, chat. We stand Rarity in this house, by the way. If you don't like Rarity, your Jordans are fake.
We stand this beautiful queen.
We stand this beautiful bitch, yes.
Beautiful marshmallow bitch.
Yeah. You know what? Exactly. In fact, Tina probably has an obligation to do so, but you should follow her example. She leads by it.
Because I am the Marshmallow Queen.
The Marshmallow Queen.
The Marshmallow Queen. Thank you.
This eyeliner here. Perfect. That's perfect.
Yes! Let's keep it going.
Love it. And then we need the big blue eye. Bailey with 2 nights in a row of Lawn Boys, Girls, NBs, and AGs. Thank you very much for sending your lovely community on over here. My name's Giraffe7. I'm the president of the Lawn Boy Club, the very large enjoyer of all things gaming, wrestling.
Darling.
and we are making Rarity in WWE 2K24. This is the final created character that we need to make before we can move on to movesets and stats and shit. What can I say? I'm glad to trust my gentle friends with you. I'm glad that you hold me in such high regard, genuinely. I appreciate you bringing your community. Jesus Christ. I appreciate you bringing your community on over here. If you haven't done so already, gentle friends, I would appreciate you giving a follow to both my lovely co-hosts for the evening, Tina. Gaming Good Guy, thank you for following. You're now a member of the Lawn Boy Club for life. I appreciate it. Go and follow my friend, your pal, Tina.
Yes.
Right here.
And if you follow me, you are automatically entered into the S'more Club.
Who wouldn't want that? Exactly.
How
no
cool
one wouldn't
would that be to be a member of the S'more Club.
No one wouldn't want that. Ah, there you go. No one would not want to be in it.
Exactly.
Head tap gif. So follow her and also follow me. We're trying to get to 1,000 by October 2nd. If we can get there, I will guarantee a playthrough of Wrestling Empire featuring a Lawn Boy Clubhouse favorite, Gira, who was first introduced back in 2K22. We will have his origin story in Wrestling Empire. But only if we get to 1,000 by then.
And only if I reach 1,000 by the end of the year, I will host the biggest room party in BabsCon history at BabsCon 2025. So follow me if you want to see it.
These are both separate goals on our channel, so follow both of us. Please. We would appreciate it.
Yes, so far I am almost halfway to 1,000. So do it.
Finally, a top with some long fucking sleeves. Jesus. Rather like a top with some sleeves. God damn. It took it long enough, but we finally got there. That's... Gira equals GOAT, exactly. Happy to support. Thank you. Thank you, gaming good guy. Just do it. Follow. Just do it.
Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
Like, look at this, chat. This is so easy. Look at this.
Those words is gonna work on me, and therefore I say, bing bong.
You want to see how easy this is, chat? It's that easy. She looks depressed.
It's almost time for a 120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
We're not doing it.
I don't know if we're doing it.
Go away, homunculus.
I gotta make sure. No, we need to run an ad. I'm sorry, chat. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. I'm sorry.
It's break time. Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Raw rules on after this.
I always win.
God damn it.
So what do you think Super Mario?
God, no. We are not doing this one again. we literally just saw this one. Here, I'm gonna show you the best one, Tina.
Do it.
I'm gonna show you the best one. Far and away.
Want a break from the ads? Subscribe
I'm now on Twitch. Yeah, exactly. Subscribe either with Prime or those fun 16 digits.
Psygnosis offers much the same experience with
Formula One racing. In fact, these games are so similar that once again we question why this genre is so popular. We have yet to see any tracks that blow us out of our chairs. No huge roofs, no gigantic ramp launches, no driving through waterfalls, nothing imaginative. These games are supposed to be fun first and simulation second. Where's the creativity? Why not have a game where you have to find and drive to the hospital before your wife delivers her baby? Now that would be fun. Rather than compete against other racers,
you'd have to avoid getting arrested by
keeping below the speed limit, obeying the right-of-way laws, and not tailgating. Any foul-up and the cops will pull you over. The best part is that you don't know how to get to your location. You have to read the road signs and hope you explore in the right direction.
Anyway, Formula One has nice, colorful graphics and a large number
of tracks, 17 to be exact, but still a jar, folks. A jar all the way.
You did not acknowledge the sound that I was playing in the middle of your lecture.
You were not gonna throw me off my game.
Well, I'm gonna throw myself off with this.
The giant horse cock weighs over 11 pounds.
Nom nom. Oh, excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
I'm on top of my fucking game. I know Psygnosis' game.
Acknowledge me.
Okay, what's up?
The giant horse cock weighs over 11 pounds.
You're welcome.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad I know this information now. Every single one of them. Every single wiener weighs over...
Pingus.
The giant horse Pingus weighs over 11 pounds.
Please. God damn it, I don't have a giant horse Pingus sound.
You gotta make the edit. You gotta make the edit now. Anyways, chat.
Editor, you know what to do.
Anyways, chat. What are we playing while we finish this? We're going into full focus mode.
Play the Skyrim music again. Remember, I have the sound.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
The giant horse conch weighs over 11 Space Jam DVDs.
True. Very true. Homunculus, you're so smart. Alright, let's do it!
Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD. Make it stop, make it stop.
What? Are you okay, my friend?
Clearly not.
I guess not, no. Alright, there's gotta be like little rings that you can put on the hands.
Like a wedding ring. Wait, is Spike... or wait, no.
No, like...
I'm not getting into that ship!
Look at her wrists. Look at her wrists.
Oh,
Tina.
Wrist rings.
She's got like the Amy Rose fit.
Amy Rose fit?
Yes, look at it. It is.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Snooping as usual.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Here. Chat, can someone like type that into the homunculus and like format it so he said snooping as usual, I see?
Hold on, I think I got you.
Please. Please? No, that's not it.
I think I got you. How much is
150 point.
Oh,
150 club credit. Please. I'm waiting.
Come on.
Thank you.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Are you kidding me?
Snooping as usual, I see.
Are you kidding me? No. Hold on. Okay, I have an idea for how we're gonna do this.
What?
Snoo, pingas.
Snoopingas usual, I see.
Here.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Yeah! Yeah!
Snoop Dogg as usual, I see.
We did it, chat. Just pretend that there are. Just pretend there's clapping. Yeah.
Scooping as usual, I see.
Scooping as usual, I see.
Hold on. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for the sound?
Yeah, give me the sound. Yeah! That's awesome. Save that. Save that for like 10 minutes.
Alright, got it.
Boo. Spooping as usual, I see.
Spooping as usual.
Spooping as usual, I see.
Spooping as...
Oh, chat, you're great.
Man. You know what? The chaos does carry over. I'm happy.
The Giraffe Step Twitch chat is
Pooping as usual, I see.
Pooping as usual, I see. Tina, that one was real shitty. Ow! I'm on fire!
Oh my god!
No, that was good. That was good.
Oh. Boo this man.
No, that was good, and you know it.
False advertising.
I came to the Giraffe Step stream under the assumption that I thought it was funny. But instead, it's just a giraffe self-flagellating the whole time, thinking that he is funny when he isn't. What a ripoff.
Oh my god!
-2. Instead, it's just this weirdo giraffe that thinks he's funny. I want my money back.
Okay, Mr. Krabs, you might want to hold on to that thought.
Oh yeah, you'll get your money back, alright. In hell.
Spare serotonin, please.
There I saved the comedy. Thank you. I think this works out fine.
Yeah, it'll do.
Need to make the shade of purple a little lighter. Huh. Maybe a little more in the blues. Like that! Exactly that.
Yes! Yes! That's good. That's good. Keep it up.
Yeah, let's go. Wait, hold on. I got it. I got this.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook, chat. Let him cook.
I'm cooking. We're gonna make this fucking diamond shine. Watch. We're gonna make the 6th best pony, but still awesome pony. Incredible here. We'll say, chat, it does not matter, honestly, where I place the main 6. I love all of them. I think they're all really cool. They're all cool. Every single one of them.
They are all what we define as cool.
As good enough. No. They're good. Period. Alright, we need to find a belt, too, I feel like. We need to hide this shitty little drawstring.
Stupid goofy drawstring,
yeah,
bro.
Exactly. The Goofy Uncle Production drawstring here.
Goofy Uncle Productions.
Goofy Uncle Productions. I don't know. I don't like the leather. It's gotta be like inconspicuous almost.
Inconspicuous.
Something like that almost.
That'll work.
Let's try that, chat. Let's try that. It's gotta be darker. Like
much darker. Yeah.
Yeah. That works. Kinda. There you go. Look at that, chat. That's our girl. She looks so upset though. Also the hair. I don't like it.
All right.
I don't like the hair. It's
all right. Whatever. Switch it up.
Gotta be a bit more pastel. I'm sorry. Maybe it doesn't. Oh my god, Stev. What isn't too pastel for you? Maybe that.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
That works out. I'm okay with that. Alright, we need shoes now.
The really big fucking boots.
The boots, like, listen, this honestly shouldn't be that tough. And we need a bit more room. We need like tall shoes. Something with customizable soles. That's close, but it needs to be more like boots. It can't be like heels. Are we sure it isn't Sunny that's Best Pony? She can solve racism with just going, y'all like magic. Yeah, that's right. She's like Cody Rhodes, chat. She solved racism. I do like magic. an actual line from the fucking pony game that I played on stream a couple months ago. Like literally, she spoke for like 20 seconds, and their minds changed. They're like children. They're like they're like the children that the game is designed for. Let's see here. Why do your boots need to have, like, diamonds on the front, Rarity? You're so conceited. Why do you gotta make it harder to just exist? Can you, like, just change?
Change and grow as an individual.
I hope you change and grow as an individual. Good day.
You should change and grow as an individual.
Block. Or did you make Dash a heel? I did not make Dash a heel. I think I made her a mixture. I could see her with these boots. These like rain boots, but
yeah.
I could see her with this fit, honestly. That's perfect. In fact, we can retain some of the look of the yeah,
Yes!
baby. That's it. That's it. I can't wait.
I think we got it.
Oh, that's it. But now we need, like, little socks. Hold on. Come on, a little more. Give me the tall socks, tall socks, tall socks, baby, tall socks. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't play it just yet. Don't play it just yet. Don't play it just yet.
I have it on hold. I am holding down left click.
Yes. That's honestly probably the best one that we've done, chat. That's honestly the best one. I'm not gonna lie when I say that.
Almost there.
She and Rarity could be heels if you have to get a couple of them on that side, I bet. I can see Rarity as a heel. I think Rarity would make a great, like, wrestling villain.
Yeah.
I'll do a mix.
Like a Rule 63 Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Just like she's way more like extravagant in her presentation. I think Dashie would have the most fun as a heel. Oh, she would though. She'd have so much fun playing the villain.
Oh yeah. Especially when you consider her fucking alter ego.
Yeah, I know. She would like draw that crowd heat so easily.
Mm-hmm.
There's gotta be Fabulous in here, right? Or just Rarity.
Fabulous, come on.
Raymond, the Rebel, the Redneck, the Rejected, the Relentless, Rays, Reynolds, Rhodes, Ricardo, Rarity, or just, wait, no, I already
There's no Rarity, look in F for Fabulous.
Hate it. No! What does this game have, chat? It's got things for me to bitch about. That's really it.
It's got things for me to fucking bang up.
Diamond. Let's try it.
I think Diamond fits. I don't know though, because she's wearing them right now.
The Diamond.
The Diamond.
Bam. There you go. And with that, Wait, no, hold on. We're not.
Hold on, not yet. Not yet.
Egotistical. I say that she's respectful enough.
Enough.
Perseverant. Old. Aggressive. Real aggressive. I would
Real
say.
trap shit.
She is that bitch.
She is that bitch.
She is that bitch.
She's that so Raven.
That's so Rarity.
Only on Disney Channel.
Now streaming on Disney Plus.
Now streaming on Disney Junior.
Disney Junior? Where is she from, chat? Rainbow Dash's promo work would be serious. It would be serious gas, chat. I want to hear those Rainbow Dash like villain promos.
Oh my god.
That would be straight gas. Dudleyville. I feel like she would want to be from Mount Olympus, but like Vince would pitch Dudleyville.
Yeah.
The Queen City.
Is there anything close to Manhattan other than New York?
I mean, we can have her be from Manhattan, New York, but that's a real place. That's not fictional.
I know.
You can actually go to. You can actually go there.
Like, would that be copyright infringement?
No. I mean, we can assign it. Or, like, see? Manhattan, New York.
Oh my god. Yeah. Why
Sure,
not?
why not? Manhattan, New York. That's also a fictional place, chat.
Manhattan doesn't exist. Times Square is not real.
Never seen it. All of those Ryan Seacrest New Year's celebrations.
Oh my god.
That's CGI. That's a set. Ryan Seacrest is not real.
They're staged. They're not real.
Exactly. Every single year, fake. It's all fake. Ryan
More fake than
Seacrest.
the moon landing.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Seacrest.
They're all holograms.
More fake than your bitches.
More fake than your Jays.
More fake than your Jays. Yeah. Manhattan, Ryan Seacrest, New Year's Eve. They're more fake than your fucking Jordans. Get out of here, you scrub. Joke's on you. I don't have any bitches. Yeah, physically, but do you in your mind? Those are also fake. Anyway. Tina, give me the sound effect.
Hold on. I need the music to slowly fade.
Okay.
Finally,
She's
after
done.
3 hours, I can... After 3 hours, I can finally cook.
What the fuck? Huh? What?
It's a Mario Land thing.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
It's from the Donkey Kong mini game.
Okay. I get it. Okay. Cool. Got it. Got it. You need, hold on. I'm gonna do you one better. All right.
Yeah.
Pre-show. Where is your server?
What?
Hold on.
I'm scared.
Hello, Mario.
Where the fuck is the Buddy Holly riff? God
wait.
damn it.
Wait, I have it.
Play it right now. Ooh, I look just like Buddy
Holly. Now you're married,
Tyler Moore. I don't care what they say about us anyway. I don't care about that. so on and so forth. Also, King, thank you. I see you, man of a cult. I see you, a man of culture. I do a fun band and concert. I bet, you know what? I bet that Weezer is actually really fun if you go and see them live.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No. I would probably suck live. I heard they suck live.
Step on up and see if you can throw a giant gold ring around a long boy.
Alright, I'm gonna hold real still. Also, Maria Wolf 123, thank you for following. You're now a member of the Long Boy Club for life. Fellow wrestling fan, you bet, my friend. Welcome to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. We are admittedly wrapping up here because. Wait, hold on.
We're all done.
Because, chat. Now, all 8 characters are created. Also, King, thank you for following. You're now a member of the Long Boy Club for life. We are at 850 followers, 150 away from Wrestling Empire. Woo!
Oh my and God. I am at 375.
Get my pal Tina to 1,000, please. Go over to her channel right now and follow. She's really fun. She's really funny.
That room party happened.
And she is an incredible friend. So you all should go and support her. Go and support her right now. Go follow. I'm watching you do it right now.
And if you don't follow, I'm gonna make you.
Take your prune juice!
You'll spill it on the fake Jordans.
Yes. If you
don't follow both of us, your Jordans are fake.
No. If you don't follow us, we're gonna steal your frosted sugar cookies and burn them.
You know what? I'd be fine with that. I mean, if they're from Walmart, then yeah, burn them. Burn them. That's fine. Now then, chat.
I'm forced to follow her, and she doesn't feed me. Good.
Well, listen, I'm about to feed you all some real good food. Okay.
Real trash.
This is a special attraction match here. All right. I'm actually gonna hide this real quick while I set it up. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna hide this while I set it up. Give me a second here.
Yeah, go for it.
In the meantime,
what are we gonna watch in the meantime?
This again. That's some German. Fuck.
Sein großer Schnabel, der steht niemals still. Macht immer das nur, was will.
It's a WrestleMania main event for any year, chat.
Food, good food, like Cheetos, Jib Cheetos.
Jib Cheetos.
Jib Cheetos.
Mein kleiner, süßer, frecher Papagei. Der flog auch einmal hin zur Polizei. Der Polizist, der schrieb ein Protokoll. Das fand der Papagei dann gar nicht toll.
Sagt hallo.
Einfach so, Kokoko, im Büro, Kokoko, auf der Straße sowieso, morgens früh, Kokoko, abends spät, Kokoko, ganz verschärft, Kokoko, Mann, das nervt, Kokoko.
Special match, chat. One that the world has been waiting years for. Witness. Him.
He's him.
Featuring the art made by our lovely and talented Melody Small on the t-shirt. It's Shining Wizard.
Woo!
The protagonist from this year's My Rise. Our man, our special boy. The man in shining armor. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Corey Graves.
God, he's hot.
Rarity's still here, Stev. Yeah, she wants to watch too. It's a special match, chat. You're not gonna believe it.
Special match.
It is a clean shirt design. Again, Marshall did so fucking good on this. Let her watch. I can't though. It's actually gonna take up too much screen real estate.
It's free real estate, chat. I gotta invest in it.
Sev merch win. Hold on.
Yes. I could hook you up.
We're gonna bury this man!
Holy fuck!
This place just came
Boo!
Yeah, boo this man.
We're gonna bury this man, chat. Hulk Hogan, the bastard, is at WrestleMania. Give me the booze.
I'm just giving him the "you sick fuck" chant.
You sick fuck. We've been waiting for this for far too long, chat.
And now the moment is here.
We've been waiting for this matchup for far too long. Is it
It's
looping
almost
that
time for a
instead of
120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
No, it's fucking not. Go to sleep. You go to sleep, Homunculus. We're here for town business. Is it? No. Tina was like spamming it because I have it on my soundboard in my Discord server. By the way, I have a Discord server. Y'all should go and join that. We have a lot of fun over there. Hogan was never that jacked, brother. Yeah, exactly. There it is, right there. Go and join it.
I don't care.
Damn it. We're gonna fulfill our destiny, chat. Like so.
Hell yeah. Kick his ass.
The only thing that's running wild here at WrestleMania is Wizardmania.
A pretty uneven matchup, if you ask me.
A pretty uneven matchup, yeah, for Hulk Hogan. Observe. Look at that! Not even Andre the Giant could lift him up.
Andre the Giant is nothing. Just a mere weakling.
Has been. Past his prime. Compared to Shining Wizard. He's past his prime, chat. Dom was on Shining Wizard's team. He is less bad than Hulk Hogan. That is very true.
I imagine Rarity opening up a wrestling podcast and not even talk about the wrestling.
Just the wrestling costumes. You know what? I would listen to a podcast like that. There's a lot of like really good fits in wrestling.
Damn.
How do
I? Sorry about that, Doom. We stand the Shining Wizard here.
Hate Hulk Hogan.
Over here is gonna show you why.
Just taking it to the Hulkster. Here at WrestleMania. No.
Take him to the schoolyard.
I'll show you how real wrestling is done. Ow. Oh, damn. Yeah, the thing about it is that Hulk Hogan's stats are much higher than Shining Wizard's. If he gets a leg up, then it's going to be a little hard to recover. It's like I need to make sure that my shit counts. No! Not allowed.
No. Bad Hulk Hogan. Go sit in timeout.
Shining Wizard striking Hulk. The striking Hulk for that Hulk Rules. For that terrible Hulk Rules album. Secretly, though, Shining Wizard does enjoy Pastamania, the cookbook.
For real.
He's a closet fan of the Pastamania again. Got on the top rope and immediately went back down. LOL, what was Bro cooking?
He ain't done yet.
The only thing he was cooking was the shit that's in his britches, because Shining Wizard terrifies the Hulkster. Observe. That's the only thing cooking, the shit that's in his britches.
That's the only thing making the Hogan shit bricks. It's the one thing the Hulkster fears.
Someone being more popular? That doesn't work for me, brother. Ow.
Popularity means nothing to me, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother. Oh, well, he whiffed that one. Well, you know what? That's another reason why Shining Wizard's better. He wouldn't whiff a move like that.
It's almost time for a 120 seconds minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
He can actually get his shit in, chat. Let's go. Nah. You ain't got nothing on this shit, Hogan. Oh, Snake Eyes.
Nice.
Not even a 1 count. What the fuck? Ow.
Jesus. This man don't hold back.
No, we don't. No. No.
Good counter.
Please, please, please let this be it.
Please, bro.
Yeah. No.
My God.
Not even at 1.
Quit. Nut kick.
For a shit as Hulk Hoofin is. He's resilient.
Hella resilient.
Come on.
But this could be it.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, chat, we're gonna stick with this match in picture-in-picture. Don't go anywhere. Play the ad.
Oh my God.
Play the ad. Tina,
Run the
next.
ad.
Play the ad. Just do it. Get it out the way. Get it out of the way.
I'm doing everything we can.
It's break time.
Thank you.
Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Are you kidding me? Raw was on after this. I gotta do streamer. I need to open up streamer bot again because it just crashed.
What do you need to open again?
I need to open up streamer bot again because it just crashed.
Bro, oh my God.
There you go.
With
We're back.
control changes for sidestepping.
Yeah.
And of course, all new worlds and vehicles.
At least except that jump off the top rope, he pretty much wrestles like Hulk Hogan did.
A dagger embedded in his chest. Oddly, removing the dagger results in the dragon's death.
All you need is like the back rakes, the eye pokes, and the really light chair shots, and then you got a true Hulk Hogan experience, brother. That snow speeder kicks some major, you know what. My dumb aw really thought it would be picture-in-picture.
We're giving Tomb Raider 2 a good review. We fully expected to do so. We knew the game would be great, and it is, and we've only just scratched the surface. In answer to Lara's giant earrings, however, we have a challenge to Eidos. In Tomb Raider 3, create a storyline in which Lara gets breast cancer. Imagine the drama of a vulnerable Lara Croft still persisting in her worldly adventures despite her illness. It needs fleshing out, no pun intended, but we guarantee the gaming world would be shocked,
Should you play a game with this plot?
and moved at the effort to make Lara's character
I
more
would,
meaningful.
yeah.
We love Lara, but it's about time the industry
I would love a game where the ending is just us dying of breast cancer.
Everyone should buy it. Period. The end.
I can't wait for
the sad breast cancer ending.
Imagine the drama, chat. Imagine it if you dare.
That would be a real secret ending.
It would be, yeah. Hold on just a second. I need to bring my shit back. Hold on. Also, welcome back to Raw.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Raw.
Where's my thing? There it is. All right. Here we go, chat.
Let's get back to it.
Stinked at this point, and he said, "You're not getting me with that this time."
Oh, Hulk, you're gonna get hit with the greatest move in wrestling, the best shining wizard ever.
Oh, wow.
Done. It's over.
It's over.
One.
Should be.
Two. No.
What?
What?
The fuck?
Hulk. Hulk. Fine. Maybe in the middle of the ring, Hulk. We're trading strikes. No.
No.
Come on. Neck breaker.
Yeah.
Come on. Ooh.
Please.
1, 2. No.
Mike, every time.
Fine. You know what?
How?
Fine, Hulk. Here, we're gonna try this then. The Hoof de Gras!
Oh, yes!
Cover him!
Please.
1.
Please.
2. The evil has been defeated.
Finally, it's over.
The evil has been defeated, chat. Look at this. Look at this guy.
That took way too damn long.
Tonight, we witnessed the fall of the Hulkster. A defeated Hulk Hogan. Man, the vibe in this arena sure has changed.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's fucking go. The Shining Wizard remains undefeated.
Well, he didn't have his titles out here for some reason. That's weird. Once again, Tony D'Angelo continues to be one of the biggest threats in this game. not even Hulk Hogan could step up against the closest that Tony D'Angelo came to beating Shining Wizard.
Nope.
That shit was scary, by the way. That was really terrifying.
I had to go to Target.com. That shit's scary.
Really is. Really is.
Oh man, what an adventure though.
Yeah.
My God.
Incredible work from all involved.
Man, that was probably the best. That was the best edition of Saturday Night Raw I've ever seen.
I apologize about that, Doomslayer.
I also apologize.
All right. We need to find someone to raid then. We gotta find someone to raid.
Well, Marshall is still alive.
Ooh. We can raid into him. Raid into him. We can raid into him, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's raid into. Hold on.
I will give out the raid message.
Incredible.
There you go, chat. There is your raid message.
If no one got me, I know that Tina got me.
You're welcome.
I know Tina got me if no one got me.
If no one got me, the marshmallow got me.
For sure. For absolute certainty. Let's go. Anyways. Yeah. this has been fun, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. We will be back here with actually assigning moves to these characters because we're only like a fifth of we're only like 50% of the way there. We're only like 50% of the way there.
Squidward on a chair.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we are, chat. And we'll continue with that next time. Again, follow my pal and your pal, Tina, here at her Twitch channel. It is linked in the title of the stream right there. Follow me. I would like to get to 1,000 followers by October 2nd. If we do, we will play Wrestling Empire. Join the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. We have a lot of fun. We are currently on My Little Pony Frenchman's Magic Season 6 in our watch-alongs, and we're going to be finishing it tomorrow night. If that sounds great to you, come on over. Anyways, I've been Giraffe Stev. I have been the president of the Long Boy Club, and this has been... Where are you again?
Oh, right. And I am your pal Tina, your local marshmallow on the internet.
And she's pretty incredible. And you all are too. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.